Why, hello there. Welcome back. Welcome back to the Agostino Zinga Show with your host, Agostino Zinga. And this is episode number 873. That is 873 with me, your friend, your wish you never had, Agostino Zinga, coming at you live and direct from an undisclosed location somewhere within the depths of East London. How you doing? How you feeling? Great, amazing. Good to know, good to know, good to know. How am I? All good, all things considered. I cannot complain. All good, all things considered. As you can tell by my chirpy disposition, I've just come back from Amsterdam. I went to Amsterdam over the weekend with my good friend Bobby. Big up Bobby Long. We had an absolute blast over there. Maybe didn't go long enough. Maybe the trip itself was a bit too brutal because we're still feeling the after effects this week. But all in all, an absolutely stupendous trip that I can't wait to recap you on. Also got some stuff we need to talk about regarding Kanye and his apparent 3rd, 5th, 7th, 10th cancellation. We got some stuff concerning Iris Law. We've got some stuff concerning DJs. Some stuff concerning Berghain. And all those things in between. And trainers. And everything else. You know what you get at the #1 cultural commentary show on the planet, the Agostino Zinga Show. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for tuning in. Okay, first things first. So, this past weekend I was in Amsterdam. Amsterdam. Yeah. The Netherlands, eh? Huh? We were in the Netherlands. The city of Amsterdam over the weekend. Pretty fun time. Spent exactly 30 plus hours there, no accommodation. This has been a plan for a long time. The problem is the plan that we had to go to Amsterdam over the weekend was a plan that we made maybe in like 2018 or something like that. Whenever the last time is that we went to Primavera Sound. We were way younger, way more sprightly, way more energetic, and not so stuck in our ways, right? So that maybe that would have been a good plan to do it back then. But nowadays, as the years go by, things become a little bit harder. But I, for one, am glad I got it done. I, for one, am glad I scratched off my bucket list. I was wanting to do something like this for a while, to test myself and to see if my body could handle going on like a little party tour, going on a little party trip, where essentially I leave in the evening of a Friday. I arrive on the Friday night at this location, wherever it may be. I party all the way until Saturday morning and then get the first flight back on the Saturday morning. This time around, we did it on Saturday instead of Friday, but I've always wanted to do that. So I'm glad we did it anyway. And Amsterdam's a great place to do it at because Amsterdam isn't that far from London. It's only like an hour and 30 minutes, if that. No, it actually might be short. I think it might be an hour and 10. It's a very short plane journey. The train journey is a bit longer, but obviously on the plane is way more comfortable. It's less stressful because that's something I realized at this trip. I did realize on this trip that there was a time when I was younger. I'm not sure if you guys are the same. When I was coming up in the scene, there was a lot of people who kind of made it early. The people who made it early were the ones who were working freelance, didn't have to work a shitty 9 to 5, didn't have to work retail. They were able to kind of fund their lifestyle based on the art that they were creating, right? Amazing, right? Or just based on their creativity, they could fund their lifestyle. And we were always jealous of them. I know I was anyway. I was like, bloody hell, man, I wish I could do that. And on top of that, they were able to fly around the world. They got invited to the bread and butters. They got invited to the, things similar to Complex Con, but that isn't Complex Con. They got invited to all the big festivals. They were attending all the fashion weeks. And they were always on planes. You're like, oh my God, man. I wish I could be on a plane as often as they are. I wish I could be traveling around the world as often as they are. And after a while, you know what you realize? When you get your own money, when you maybe get a fancy job, maybe when you get a company card, maybe your job allows you to travel around the world. You know what you realize? Traveling ain't that fun. Traveling ain't that fun. I think the only thing that I like about traveling is when you go backpacking. That time, that summer, I still kind of cherish, and I still probably think in the future I probably will do it again. That summer where I spent a few weeks in Nicaragua, in Honduras, visiting a friend of mine who was working out there for an NGO. I went and kind of, visited a place I probably would have never visited. She wasn't out there. And I got a chance to go on my first kind of solo trip. That was fucking fantastic, right? And that girl as well, big up her. Although I don't really speak to her that much anymore. she did a really good job in terms of throwing me in the deep end. I think when we got there, she didn't tell me that she's going to leave me alone for a long time and basically send me to Leon because she was living in another city. So she sent me to the main city called Leon, and I had to basically get there by myself on one of those, I think they're called chicken buses or something in Nicaragua. So that was good, right? Backpacking around Central America, fucking amazing. But I think the act of actually traveling is brutal. And I have to be honest, this trip made me have a lot of sympathy for professional DJs, especially with my dreams and aspiration to become one. I think my dreams aspiration to become one is more so along the lines of, like, for lack of a better term, more of a, like a quote unquote influencer DJ, where you get to play fun club nights, but you're not really like a working DJ around the calendar, because I don't think I'll be able to hack it. And I only say influencer DJ because that's the only way to kind of term them. I think I'm way better than that, but still, would I be able to handle the conventional gig that most people do, where they're opening, you know, they're doing the first flipping Ibiza flipping openings, they're doing all the festivals, all the clubs? Probably not, because that was only one day, and I'm already dead. I can only imagine what it's like as a DJ. Maybe it's a bit different because you're obviously playing. You're not going to be as fucked up. Maybe you're not going to be on your feet as much. You're going to get a hotel. You're going to get taken out to dinner by the promoters and shit. It's a bit different, but I still think a DJ schedule is absolutely brutal. And we experienced it for one day and nearly killed both of us. It nearly killed us. Like arriving in Amsterdam at 5 p.m. or like 5 p.m., getting out of the flipping airport at 6, walking around the city up until 10 p.m., then going to the club at like 11, and then raving all the way until it closes, and then coming right back home was fucking brutal. Absolutely brutal. But I'm glad I did it. Amsterdam as a city, I have to be honest, I have to give Amsterdam City some respect. I was very naive. I thought Amsterdam was only about weed. I didn't really see any reason to go there because I'm not the biggest weed smoker. That's one of the things I kind of buck against when it comes to being stereotypically black. I don't eat fufu. I don't eat rice. I'm not a big pasta fan. And I'm also don't smoke weed. One of the weird things about me, I do not smoke weed. So when I do smoke weed, you know, it's a bit of a madness, but I'm not running towards it. So I never really thought there'll be any interest in me going there. And of course, I'm not really interested in whorehouses, right? Or red light district. But obviously, naive Agostino, very narrow-minded Agostino, very ignorant Agostino, was very blown away and surprised by how beautiful the city is. Even at dark, even at night, sorry. The city is gorgeous. What a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful city. Very picturesque. The complete opposite of Berlin, a place that I go to all the time for my techno tours and things. And I have to be honest, I might have to switch up my going out locations and maybe include some Amsterdam trips, because I've heard some people say, specifically on the Amsterdam rave subreddit, that Amsterdam actually might be a better location to rave than Berlin anyway. It's a lot more, from what I can understand when I went there, it's a lot less touristy, that's for sure. A lot of people that I bumped into in the club, big up everybody I bumped into at Lofi, where Dixon was playing all night long. A lot of people I spoke to were either native people from Amsterdam or actually people from the Netherlands, which rarely happens when you're out in Berlin. When you're out in Berlin, it feels like you meet people from all over the world. Obviously, some of them live there, but mostly it feels like you're meeting tourists. Whereas in Amsterdam, I feel like I met a lot of people who were actually living out there, which is quite sick. But it was a really beautiful city. That's the thing that really captured my eyes. So beautiful. The houses especially. I mentioned this on flipping Random Show. It's really interesting. Places in Europe where they don't have curtains. They don't have blinds really. They have their windows just barely, basically bare, so you can see right through their homes. And it was a real pleasure because you got to see how beautiful some of these homes were in Amsterdam, especially the ones along the canal. Extremely high ceilings, beams everywhere, wooden walls, amazing artwork on the walls, sculpture on the tables, sculptures on the fucking nightstand, on the nightstands, cabinet things, whatever it may be. Just incredibly well decorated and beautiful flipping homes. So that was great to see. So much so that there was one guy actually invited us to go into his house to kind of have a bit of a tour. Well, we're running late to go to Lo-Fi, so we passed, but I kind of wish we kind of went in there now, just so I could have seen it with my own eyes. But it was a fucking beautiful city. And everybody there was lovely too, to be honest. I do like the Dutch way of, the Dutch manner of speaking. They look like they're going to be cunts, but they're also very kind and sweet, but they're also not full of pleasantries like we are in the UK. You know, in the UK, we kind of overdo it with the, yeah, thanks, Okay, you're right. Yeah, mate. All good. All fake. Like, we overdo it with the fucking pleasantries. They're very to the point, but it's not because they're being mean. It's more so an economy of words. Like, why would I use 10 words if I can use 2? You know? And we don't do that. We love to fucking rattle on, as you can tell with me. We love the fucking sound of our own voice. So it was quite good to be somewhere where people spoke to you in that kind of manner. And they were really nice in general, I think. Way nicer, I would say, than the people in Berlin. Especially scene people. I think the scene people in Amsterdam are way nicer. And I mean scene, I mean like the techno scene, rave scene, house scene, whatever you're going to call it, nightlife scene. The people there are way nicer than the people in Berlin, that's for sure. I think the Berlin people are like similar to London people, to be fair to them, in that they might appear stuck up anyways, but once you get talking to them, they're alright. But you have to make the first move. And because I'm way, you know, most of us anyway have a bit of ego, have a bit of pride, it's hard to make that first move. You don't want to feel like a beg. But usually, especially in London, I always say to people, London scene kind of can seem very cliquey, but if you walk over to that clique and introduce yourself, usually everyone's safe. It's just you have to introduce yourself first of all. You have to go over to a clique of table of people who have their backs turned to you, who clearly are doing their own thing, and say hi, introduce yourself. That's very nerve-wracking, but I found that in other places, especially like I went to in Amsterdam in Netherlands, they were really hospitable, really nice, off the bat, no effort whatsoever, and just chill and kind of responded to your energy, and that was really sick. So much so that actually one of the bartenders I got to speak to quite a bit on the outside who kind of helped me out as well. So big up that bartender on the outside who helped me out. You know who you are. Absolute boss. And yeah, brilliant. So Lofi itself, the location was pretty far outside the city center. That's how it works allegedly. Most of the clubs are not in the inner ring. They're on the outside, which is, I guess, easy to kind of go to, locate. When we got out the station to walk towards Lofi, we saw that club called Brett that I want to go to. I think I saw loads of really great videos about Brett during ADE Festival. So I really want to go to Brett. It looks like an incredible little space. It kind of looks like a shed, and it's got this little balcony, canopy sort of area bit, and loads of, I think, leaves hanging from the roof. It looks fucking sick, so I really want to go to Brett. So Brett is actually on the station towards your way to go to Lofi. And then the Lofi, when we were walking down there, it kind of felt like, it reminded me a little bit of Canning Town. It reminded me a lot of like on the way to go to Fold. Had that kind of vibe. Like it kind of looked like places where that'll be where there's postal centers, warehouses, bus garages. You know, it kind of looked like that. A bit industrial, a bit of a mix of things. Then as we started to walk towards Lofi, there was this amazing coffee shop, a weed shop that we saw. Massive coffee shop. It looked like a jewelry store. It could have easily been a store where they sell flipping diamonds, jewelry, gold, whatever else it may be. But it was just all weed. The guys behind the counter were wearing fucking white lab coat type things. They had weed in these glass cabinets. Like, just amazing. They had security guards with like a velvet rope at the front. Fucking fantastic. Wish I had the time to go in there, but we didn't. And then, of course, as we went a bit further up, we found Lofi, which is kind of like in the middle of nowhere, really, to be fair. I think it was kind of near like a motorway, essentially. That's where we found it. Pretty easy system to get in. No real big hassle, really. You queue up, and the lady scans your ticket, QR, whatever majiggy, and then you go to a security who then searches the bag and searches you. No hassle there, really. And as soon as you get in, they have like a little table with a lady, and there's a little sticker there where you can scan to access the locker system. So it works the same as Fold. So I'm assuming Fold and these places have copied all these European places. So it's a self-service locker system. I think the small lockers were €6. Big lockers were €9. I chucked all my shit in the €9 one. When I went on my big up Gaye B or Cali B. Yes, just started, brother. Just started 14 minutes ago. When I went, actually, I just took a backpack with me, which was really nice, by the way. Traveling with just a backpack is stupendous, especially for someone like myself, because I'm one of those freaks who, when I go to Berlin for the weekend or any other European trip for the weekend, and by weekend I mean like from Friday to Monday, I will usually check in luggage. Yeah, I'm that sort of freak. I'm that sort of freak where I will usually check in luggage. So I'll take like 3 pairs of shoes, 2 jackets, crazy amount of outfits and shit in my checked luggage and take that. So it's quite nice to go to the airport without having to lug some luggage with me. So I just had the backpack, and that was basically it. Actually, Bobby came completely, my friend came completely really lightly packed. He just had like a little side bag with just like a rolled up t-shirt and some toiletries, and that was it. So I probably could have done that, but I did sneak another pair of shoes and an outfit in the backpack as well, which was again was what it was, but whatever. Went to the locker area, able to change my shirt, change my socks quickly, put different shoes on that I thought were more comfortable when I was walking around. What you call it? The off-white black Air Force Ones and shit. And then yeah, was just raving out until the end. The space Lo-Fi itself was really cool. It's a lot smaller than what it looks like on the pictures, by the way. A lot smaller. But the pictures make it look super, super huge, but it's not that big. I think that they use a telephoto lens or something. But one thing I really did like about the space Lo-Fi is is how they did the floor, the main floor. The main floor had these like platforms, which made it look like a soccer stadium, kind of, or like a lower league soccer stadium. So there's a main floor, and then around the floor there are these platforms, usually like two step platforms. And then at the back behind the DJ, there's like a 3-step platform. And what that did is that if you were standing on the side, you could always see the DJ. So I think they might have done it I'm not sure if they did it because of a view, to give you a view to see the DJ if you're standing on the side, or if it's more so for pictures. Because if you take a picture of it, it looks really cool too, because it kind of looks like the DJ is like inside of a Coliseum type of thing. But you can always see the booth from any angle you are, and there's nothing covering the DJ booth either. It's completely bare, so you can see the light, the LEDs illuminating the DJ as they're playing. So that was pretty sick. The smoke machine was going off all freaking night. Some people were complaining about that, but I loved it, to be fair. I love a good enthusiastic smoke machine. The lights and LEDs were going off as well. That was fucking fun. I love that. There was bare chill out areas as well. There was a chill out area towards the back, which is inside some cage. That kind of reminded me of like Trésor. That was quite cool. There's a massive outdoor space that reminded me a little bit of the yard, with this little like canopy sort of thing, tent thing kind of covering it, and some heaters, benches everywhere. So the outside kind of reminded me of the yard and the cause, that kind of vibe, tables and benches everywhere. And they also had a little porter cabin with a kitchen selling like, cheesy fries, and they got this croquette things that they eat over there, which is really tasty, and other bits and bobs in there, and chicken and shit and burgers. So that was pretty cool. So if you're hungry, you can do that. And there's also a porter cabin loos towards the far left. So if you don't want to go to the main toilets, which are upstairs, you can go to porter cabin loos. The main toilets were all unisex as well, which made the queuing super easy. I feel like anyway. You didn't have to wait super long to go in, because there's usually groups of people going into one cubicle, to do the multivitamins and shit. I was mainly on the weed all night, I'm not gonna lie, which was really good. I really did enjoy that. Being on the weed all night kind of was a different experience than what I'm used to, especially with the amounts of fucking copious amounts of multivitamins I did in the past. But I kind of felt like, because we were going to be on our feet all night, I couldn't crash, I couldn't peak too early like I usually tend to do or like to do. So I thought the weed would be a good substitute, and it actually was. It actually was a really good substitute. I was happy about that. Ended up buying a random sativa joint from a coffee shop somewhere randomly. Anyone, there's literally loads in the city center. You just keep walking and you'll find loads. Some of the coffee shops are essentially just a really bare store with like one table, like it looks like a hood shop. And some coffee shops are really fancy. The one I went to get the joint was a little bit in the middle. They had tables and regular people just smoking, sitting down and shit. They also served coffee, obviously. They had some munchies, I think some cakes and shit that you could buy. And I also saw that they had, I think it's hemp on the table, which is pretty cool. They have this big jar of like free hemp that you can mix your weed in, because I guess that's what they smoke their weed with. They don't mix it with tobacco like we do here in the UK. So that was pretty sick to go see. And yeah, that was it really. Smoked my joint a couple hours. I think I had a toke every couple of hours or so. And then by the end of the night, I kind of had a little bit left, like maybe like a thumb size, the top of my thumb size left of the joint that I smoked outside of the flipping train station before we headed to the airport. And that was pretty decent, and I was pretty much okay apart from that. The only thing that really did hurt, I have to be honest, were my feet. Being on my feet all day like that, not having any ability to lie down, to chill, put my, whatever, that was what killed me, I think. Being on my feet for 30 hours was a lot, but it was really fun. Really fucking fun. Dixon absolutely killed it. It was really cool to see him play again all night. Last time we got to see him play, I can't even remember. Might have been like East Village. It might have been East Village. It might have been It might have been some studio somewhere, so I'm not too sure. But regardless, I'm not seeing him, I don't think, play all night long for a while. And what he tends to do all night long is that he's the master of playing long sets. That's kind of what he's known for, apart from being voted, RA DJ of the Year 4 times in a row. He's also known for playing like long extended sets. That kind of scene he comes from in Berlin, where you play 4 hours or more. Is like I think 4 hours or no, I think 3 hours. Oh no, I think actually 4 hours is a short set. They mostly play like 6 hours and plus, so they're fucking beasts. So he's really good at that in terms of like, you get slowly building up a set and making it feel like a journey, a musical exploration. It never feels boring. He always knows how to kind of pull and push you, just as you're kind of lulling. You'll then start spiking it up again. And one thing he did really well this time, particular set, I think he purposely had the volume low. Even though I think the volume overall, my only slight criticism of Lo-Fi is the volume. It felt like the volume was slightly low. You had to go a little bit towards the front to kind of hear it loud, which was a little bit concerning. But Dixon also played with it a lot too. And then once it hit like 12-ish to 1, he really cranked up the volume and the vibes, and it started to go fucking off. It started to fill up a little bit more as well. And basically by the end of the night, it was kind of full on the main dance floor. There was still some room behind the back. I think they said eventually, I think Dixon said on his page that it was 1,500 people there, but it didn't feel that much. I'm not gonna lie. It didn't feel like it was that much people. Or if there was way more room in there. They could have fitted way more people in there. But it is what it is. The only slight criticism I'd say again is this: the toilets in the nightclub are up some very steep stairs. The toilets in the nightclub are at the top of some very steep stairs. So I don't know. Like, luckily we weren't really that fucked. I was only on the weed and shit, so I kept it kind of nice and cute. Couple of beers here and there. But God forbid if you were on some multivitamins or anything else and you had to walk up or down those stairs after having a little bit of a session of toilets. Oh my God. Oh my God. Especially us Brits. Especially us Brits who are already out of control, crazy, have no chill, have no middle ground, have no first gear. I cannot imagine the amount of falls, the amount of trips, the amount of cascades, the amount of tumbles that have occurred on those fucking stairs. Because those stairs at Lo-Fi are so steep. Like, so steep. Steep to a point where you have to hold the rails. And usually if you hold the rails, you feel like an old person, but you have to hold them because they're super steep. And they're covered in people's beer jizz. It's absolutely crazy. But apart from that, but of course, if you don't want to use them, you can always go outside to the port cabin and use those ones or Portaloos and shit. So it isn't too shabby. Again, had a fucking blast. Left, obviously, when the club finished. Ended up just walking back to the station really slowly, talking to some randoms on the way, and then obviously got the plane back home. Slept a bit in the train station. No, slept a bit in the airport before we got the plane, which was a bit of a vibe, not gonna lie. And then, of course, slept another bit again on the plane, and then got home, and I was just dead. But mostly my feet. I think my body and everything else was perfectly fine, but my feet were aching so fucking bad. And that's when I started to think, oh my God, professional DJs, no wonder they go a bit crazy. No wonder they're a little bit all over the place, a little bit loopy and not normal. Like, traveling like that all the time is not very healthy. And again, we were doing it the hard way. We didn't have a hotel. We didn't really sit down for that long, apart from when we went to go eat some buns and shit. But for the most part, we were on our feet walking around. But I still think, like, DJs' careers are fucking brutal. Really fucking brutal to be traveling that much. So I think my dream aspiration to become a DJ, I need to kind of temper them and kind of think, okay, I would rather be a sometime DJ, an influencer DJ. You put on your own events, you might play at some cool parties here and there, but being on the circuit, touring regularly, I'm not built for that. I ain't built for that in the slightest, because I was dead after that one trip. Imagine, as Dixon, I think the next day he was traveling to Colombia or some shit. You know what I mean? Like, God forbid. God fucking forbid. But I quickly want to show you some pictures of my time over there so you can get a kind of a vibe of what occurred whilst I was out there in Amsterdam. So we went to this one restaurant where they serve these buns. I guess this is like an Amsterdam staple. They usually put croquettes inside them. I wish I took the picture of the croquette ones, but unfortunately, I completely destroyed them. I was so hungry. I literally swallowed those two buns. I think I had 3 in total. I had 2 with croquettes, I think with beef and one with liver croquette, and then the other one I had this salt beef one, so I couldn't take a picture of it. But essentially, what they do, they make like a really large croquette. It's a bit different from what you'd get if you lived in Spain. I think the coating is way more crispier and it's longer as well. And then they slice it down the middle, and then they put both halves on either side of the bread, and you're meant to cover it in mustard or something else, whatever they use. And then you eat it like that, and it's really tasty. Really hot though, but really tasty. And they're made to order. And then they also serve these type of meats in there, cold cut meats like roast beef, salt beef. This one was salt beef, and then they also have a chicken stew gravy thing that they put in the baps. So that was pretty tasty. All really cheap as well. I think altogether we had 6, so that's 3 each, and I think Bobby paid like 30 something euros. So 6 baps or 6 buns with meat inside them and croquettes for 30 something euros, which is a pretty decent price, I feel like. So that was really nice, and the ladies in there were super chill and nice as well. And then walking around the city, like I said before, I thought the city was incredibly beautiful, very picturesque, like a great place, a great freaking place for a romantic getaway. I would say even better than Paris. Maybe the only thing that's rivaling the beauty of Amsterdam in terms of how it looks in terms of Europe might be Prague. When I went to Prague, I was like, okay, this is definitely a good date city. And when you looked around, you see a bunch of people always kissing each other and smooching. So I think Amsterdam and Prague are great cities if you want to take somebody out on a romantic date, especially with fucking Valentine's Day coming up. Definitely a great place to go, especially for the day. Great restaurants, especially along the canal. Place you can sit down, have some wine, you know, gaze into each other's eyes and shit. Hold hands, like really nice place. And it's really small. It's really fucking small to fucking walk around in as well. The only thing you have to watch out for is the cyclist. The cyclists do not fucking play in Amsterdam. The amount of times I got beeped at, the amount of times I got, hey, 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 oh, was crazy. The cyclists do not fucking play in Amsterdam. Keep out of their way. You know, check your shoulders like you're fucking prime Iniesta. Don't be in the cycle lane, because if you are, they will let you know. They will let you know. I guarantee you. Then we got some random street art here, just to kind of show you what I want. The roads on this type of place where we were in the center of Amsterdam, sorry, reminded me of a street in London here called Carnaby Street. Very similar. That's why I took the picture, really, to be fair. But yeah, not much graffiti on the buildings too. Very different to Berlin. The reason why I think Berlin is also quite dirty and disgusting is that, I don't know about you guys, but when I used to do a bit of graffiti, right? Very cringe, I know. But when I used to do a bit of graffiti, when I used to get up, right? When I used to put my throwy, when I used to do my throw-ups in places, it was well-known rule established within the graffiti community that you would never, grass someone's house. That wasn't what you do. Or residential properties, right? You'd always do them on like random build, but not people's homes. So it was always weird when you go to Berlin and you see somebody's front door. It's just covered in graffiti. That's so fucking weird. So the good thing about Amsterdam is that there's no graffiti on like people's houses. There's graffiti in places that there should be, inside, outside this kind of wooden structure that's, protecting a space where they're probably building something. That makes more sense, as opposed to just randomly spray painting it on somebody's, residence. It doesn't make sense at all. So that was quite cool. Continuing on, here's my joint that I had, that I bought from the coffee shop. They store them, the pre-rolls they store in these really nice cones that are easy to handle and transport with and stuff. And the lid is really secure too. The one that I've got here on the screen was about 10 euros. And it was about the size of my hand. And it's completely full of weed. No tobacco. No tobacco, no nothing. No mixer, no nothing. Just straight marijuana. Straight ganja to the head top, which was a lot for me to take. As someone that doesn't smoke at all or that much, it was a lot. But it was fun. It was a lot, but it was fun. So that was only 10 euros. They did have €5 options, but they didn't have them in stock, which I don't believe them, to be fair. I think because they saw me as a tourist, they would rather sell me a 10 euro joint than sell me a €5 joint. But I would have bought 2. If they had €5 ones, I would have bought 2, but they only had the 10 euro ones allegedly. And this was the sativa one. So happy that I got it anyway. And I was a bit of a dork. I asked one of the people there, can I ask you about the rules? Like, where is it legal to smoke? And the guy looked at me like I was a fucking psycho. The guy looked at me like I was a psycho. I was like, is it legal to smoke in the... He's like, what? And then eventually the girl kind of saw what I was saying. I was like, yeah, just don't smoke in the red light district. So I guess it's not illegal to smoke in the street. I don't know why. I think I heard from some people tell me that you're not allowed to smoke on the streets, but you can smoke in the coffee shops. Allegedly. That's what I heard. But from what that guy in the coffee shop told me, you can smoke anywhere, just not in the red light district. Not sure if that's true, but take what I said with a pinch of salt. Maybe do your own research, but that's what I heard. And then, of course, random picture of a warehouse window or what do you call it? Contents on the way to Lofi. And then this is the inside of Lofi in the club itself. As I mentioned before, the platform areas are around the edges, as you can see here. There are people like up that are a bit higher up on the back, a bit higher up here at the back, at the sides, and there on the sides as well. So it creates this really cool kind of Colosseum effect. And you can just about faintly see Dixon there. His head, you can just about faintly see him there, which created a really cool effect. When you go in there, they tell you you're not allowed to take any flash photography. You can record, you can take pictures, just no flash photography, which is really good. Other people as well were keeping people on top of it. If someone had their flash on, somebody would touch them and say, hey, turn your flash off. So I think that was a really good rule. I'm not gonna lie. There were people recording. Yeah, I'm gonna go to this one. I'm not sure if the no photos thing works for every club. I think this approach might work for London clubs, you know. Just tell people, yes, you can take pictures, just no flash photography, no flash filming. And it was very well behaved. No one was annoying you with their cameras. People were recording when they went to record, and they were dancing when they went to dance, but it was fairly tame in terms of, maybe it's the people there are a bit different, but I feel like that kind of rule would probably work here in London, because I think the no photo policy in London, people get very possessive about their phone. They get very angry if you tell them they can't take pictures, even though it's a better experience, don't get me wrong. I think the middle ground might be this approach. You can take pictures, just don't take the piss, no flashes, no fucking lights or whatever, and it's all good. And it worked out pretty fine over there. So big up Amsterdam for doing that. And then, of course, this is me absolutely trying to keep my eyes open. As you can tell, I'm kind of crying, I think, through the picture. You can kind of tell that I have tears running in the inside of my face. I'm struggling to keep my eyelids up. I'm very tired there. And maybe the joint is taking effect. And this is the stairs of the toilet. So the toilets are up here at the top of the stairs. Down below is the main floor of the club. And this is how steep they are. I think you can see it via the picture. Every guy here that you can see in the clip, in the actual picture, is holding on to the fucking banister. Is holding on to the railings. Every person is holding on to the railings going up. So that tells you how hard it was to climb the stairs. And the stairs were covered, like I said, in people's beer jizz. And there was no grip on the edges. Usually stairs have like little grips, little like pebble things on the edges, but there was no grip. So if you did slip, you were tumbling all the way down. So I don't know why they have the fucking toilets right at the top of those stairs. But if you're on multivitamins, if you're on the adult multivitamins and you drop, you are going to cause yourself a lot of injury. So be aware, if you're going to get the adult multivitamins, maybe go outside to the portal cabin toilets, or maybe just watch your step, because those stairs are very, 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 very unforgiving. And then, of course, here's a picture of me at the end, walking out of Lofi, heading towards the station, looking very happy and actually looking very fresh. You can tell that I wasn't caning it, because usually when I'm caning it on the multivitamins, I won't take any pictures of myself anyway because I look fucked up. But I can definitely tell from this picture that I wasn't caning it as much. I was on the fucking, I was on the Ganja Express, drinking a couple of pints here and there, and that was about it. Only slight thing concerns what to mention, if I'm gonna be honest, the price of drinks are pretty crazy. I think so. It wasn't even a pint of beer. It was like the regular mini tin of, I'd say mini tin. It was like a can of Coke size beer in a plastic cup, and they charged you, hold on, was it 12 euros? I think it might have been 12 euros, because I got myself a beer and I bought my friend a Red Bull, and I think I paid like 12 euros. I think that's a lot. I'm not sure if everyone else thinks that's not a lot, but I thought that was a lot of money, man. 12 euros for a beer and a can of Red Bull. Like, god damn, man. These motherfuckers had me. Let me actually check my Revolut quickly. Let's see if I'm mistaken. Was it what I thought it was, or am I mistaken? Yeah, 12 euros. Life over future. That's lo-fi. So I paid 12 euros for a drink and a Red Bull, which might have been a lot of money. I feel like it's a lot of money. But regardless, we were there, had fun. It's all good. It's all freaking good. And of course, I've got some clips here to show you. This is taken from the Arm to Dixon fan page. I ripped some clips on here. Arm to Dixon's a great Innovision fan page, mostly centered around Arm and Dixon, obviously, but it's covering all of the Innovision artists and extended family. They do a good job of kind of recapping the night's events. People usually send them clips, and they post them on their Instagram story, so it's all time sensitive, of course. So I was able to pull some of the clips from there by screen recording some shit. So I'm gonna play you a video here that features some clips of Dixon playing at Lofi, and you get an understanding of what the vibe was. Because unfortunately, I couldn't record anything. No, unfortunately or fortunately. I think fortunately, I couldn't record anything because my phone battery had run out, and I went to charge it. So I didn't have it basically in my hand the whole night. But which obviously helped me to kind of dance, have a good time, talk to people and shit. Because everybody I met on the dance floor, you all were fucking legends and super safe. But obviously, people that were there were recording some clips, and they were able to capture what happened. So I'll give you a brief little check of what happened here vis-a-vis this compilation of video courtesy of Arm to Dixon. Let's freaking go. Is it playing? Where's the sound? One of my favorite songs of the night, one of my favorite songs of the night. If anyone has a tune ID for this particular song, it was like a ballet funk mix, like, sounded fucking phenomenal. It sounded like an orchestra. It sounded like a fucking orchestra in there. Yes, big up Ashley Cummins in the chat. Big up Ashley Cummins. Yes, I like his outfit. The funny thing is, I discovered this DJ primarily because of his outfit. I'm not embarrassed to say, primarily for his outfit. Like, so back in the day, I don't know, this must have been like 2010, 2015. I don't know when it was. I was obviously just getting into this type of music and started to DJ myself. And I think he was the first DJ that I saw wearing like Comme des Garçons shirt. So Comme des Garçons shirt is the Comme des Garçons sub-label or diffusion brand. They do a lot of cool button-up shirts, a lot of cool trousers. It's mostly aimed towards the youth and kids, but a lot of, adults wear it and shit. And I think I saw him wearing a Comme des Garçons shirt. And I was like, oh shit, this is sick, innit? And usually DJs back then were wearing what they wear now, loads of black, loads of big O-necks and loads of fucking drop crotch pants. But he was wearing a Comme des Garçons. I was like, oh my God, sick. So even until this day, Dixon is one of the most well-dressed, I feel like, DJs, because he has his own personal style. He's not just only wearing black or Rick Owens. He's always wearing different brands, from Heron Preston to, you know, Bottega Veneta, to his own brand, and loads of other things in between, which is really cool to see. So his fashion is a big part of his identity. Big up Mazza, the DJ is Dixon. The DJ is Dixon from Innovision. Dixon from Innovision. Oh yeah, and by the way, big up the Lofi for the booth design. The booth design in Lofi is fucking incredible. So it looks really close. Like when you see the pictures from the other angles, it seems like everybody's on top of him. But they do a good job of like kind of cordoning off the area around the DJ booth, so there's space so he could move and do his thing. And even if you're standing on the platforms at the back, you can kind of see everything he's doing, but you're not super close in terms of kind of disturbing or encroaching on his space. So it's really well designed from a pictures point of view, videos point of view, and just from a dancing point of view. I'm not gonna lie. Okay, we'll stop it there quickly, and I'm going to head over to Dixon's Instagram because he's got an actual better video of the roundup of what happened there. So big up Dixon. Let's actually go to his Instagram. He's got a good little roundup clip here. Where is it? Somewhere around here. Where's his Instagram? Where's his Instagram? Okay, cool. I don't have it. Don't have it open already? I thought I had it open already. Cool. There it is. Yeah, Dixon's Instagram is here. He's got a really cool roundup of what happened here. I think it might be, no, I think it's the other square there actually. This one right here. Big up Blood Clark Dixon. You love to fucking see it. So he's got a really cool roundup clip or post on his Instagram where he kind of summarizes what happened. So let's quickly go through that. This is the post here with his arms wide open. 1,500 people, 7 hours, one DJ, house music in its purest form. Thank you for riding this journey. So I don't know if I'd even call it, maybe that's what he's calling it, house music, but I don't know. Maybe that's the best way to describe it, because I hate subgenres. I'm not gonna lie. I hate all this subgenre shit. It's so confusing and annoying to keep up with. So maybe the best way to describe what he plays is house music. Maybe just say it's house music, so it's kind of all encompassing. So let's actually get a clip to see what he actually played here. Okay, next clip. next clip. Oh, June. Look at the LED light display. So cool. Oh. So yeah, big up Dixon, man. As you can see via the picture, again, an amazingly designed club, really well done with such a small space. They've really kind of squeezed as much out of it as possible. The platforms are such a simple idea, but it works so well. And also big up Amsterdam, because if this was London, someone will charge for you to go in that back bit. So the platforms at the back where you can see people are standing, this kind of raised section. If that was London, that would be a section that they would charge more for. It's the same price. You just walk up the platforms and you can stand there if you want to and see the back of Dixon, see him doing all these things, he's DJing in the booth. It's fucking sick. So, and I also think it makes for great pictures too. As you can see here, you get this amazing picture with Dixon here in the foreground and these shadowy figures of people's arms and heads in the background going fucking crazy. I loved every minute of it. Really fucking cool. Great night out. Can't wait to go back again to Amsterdam and rave. And yeah, everybody out there was fucking super fun, super friendly. He fucking killed it. The club is fucking amazing. Sound system is really good too. So I recommend, if you are looking for a place to go to switch things up, please consider going to Blood Clot Amsterdam. Next on the list, this is a quick one, by the way, a quick random one, but this made me laugh so fucking much. So if you don't know, Soulja Boy is involved with another beef again, and he's beefing with Lil Yachty for some reason. Now, I think it's because Lil Yachty mentioned him during an interview he had with Shannon Sharp, which I don't think was his fault. Shannon Sharp asked Lil Yachty a question about Soulja Boy, and Lil Yachty responded. But you know how Soulja Boy is. He's always fucking quick to anger. He's got a short temper. He loves crashing out. And he decided to crash out on Lil Yachty. Now, the interesting part of the crash out was this particular clip where he impersonates Lil Yachty. This might be the best impersonation I have heard of Lil Yachty ever. Honestly, this made me laugh so fucking much. This is Soulja Boy impersonating Lil Yachty.
Yeah, when you be saying my name, you be sounding lame as fuck. Soulja Boy, I just don't understand him on my song. Boy, what the fuck? Yeah, when you be saying my name, you be sounding lame as fuck. Soulja Boy, I just don't understand him on my song. Boy, what the fuck?
Do you know how good that is? Do you know how good that is? Do you know how good that is? Oh my god. He sounds exactly like him. It's so freaking freaky. He sounds exactly like Lil Yachty. That was absolutely incredible. I saw that on my timeline and I had to share. I just simply had to share. The beef itself is a bit boring, don't get me wrong. You don't need to kind of do a deep dive into what they're arguing about. But just what he said there, that impersonation was 10 out of 10. 10 out of 10, spot on, 10 out of 10. Talking about 10 out of 10, let's talk about some Kanye tweets. Talking about 10 out of 10, let's talk about some Kanye tweets. Now, we can't get up his actual Twitter because it's been deactivated after an epic run of like, what, 5 days? Maybe more? Where he just wouldn't leave us alone with his anti-Semitism. He wouldn't leave us alone with his homophobia. He wouldn't leave us alone with his victim blame, with his victim shaming. He wouldn't leave us alone with his, I don't know, just abuse, right? He was just abusing us in the timeline for, it felt like a week straight. It was just annoying, right? It started with Bianca Censori wearing that naked dress at the Grammys, and then it kind of capped it off by basically talking about freeing P. Diddy, saying slavery is a choice, saying that he's also hit women and it's not fair that Diddy gets locked up. If he gets locked up, I should get locked up. You know, really crazy tweets. Really crazy tweets. But in general, it was interesting to see people freaking out so much, because as much as the tweets were crazy, I don't feel like they were anything different than what we've heard from Ye in the past. I'm not going to lie. It didn't really feel like it was anything that surprising. And even though it seemed like, in my opinion, he was trying really hard to get under our skins collectively, to annoy us, to get us to crash out in response to him crashing out, I didn't feel nothing. I'm not going to lie. Maybe I'm a Ye apologist. Who knows? But I really didn't feel anything. It didn't bother me the way it bothered most people, because I've heard him say these things before. Nothing he said in these series of tweets, apart from the Diddy stuff, which is also understandable because he has this weird fetish, this weird proclivity to defend anybody that gets cancelled. Anyone that's been cancelled, he defends them. I'm actually surprised, to be honest, that he hasn't said anything positive about, like, you know, someone like a Harvey Weinstein. For some reason, I think because Ye's been cancelled, or people have tried to cancel him so much in his life, he has this affinity with protecting everyone that gets cancelled. Like, everybody should be allowed to be the truest version of themselves, even if that means they're harming people and stuff, right? So I wasn't too surprised that he would go and start defending Diddy, even though before Diddy got locked up, him and Ye weren't on good terms. Do you remember the tweets and stuff where he called Diddy a fed? Diddy went to link up to fight him, and Ye was trolling him the whole entire time through the texts. So it wasn't like they're on good terms, but Ye's going out of his way to defend him because he just likes to defend, you know, cancelled people. And he's crazy that way. But nothing else in the tweets really surprised me. It was all the same shit. All the same shit from him. And if anything, what these tweets proved to me was that Ye is really in this for himself. I don't know why I only realize this now, but it seemed to me like all this attention that he gets, all of this money that he has, all of this autonomy, all this freedom, yet the only thing he does with it is be an edgelord, is send out crazy tweets, be a, you know, say dicey things. That's the only thing he's doing with his power, is he's selling us cheap, no, sorry, he's also selling us cheap things. He's selling us cheap trainers and cheap clothes. But apart from that, he's not really contributing anything to society with all this power and things that he has. He could be really, you know, he could be single-handedly changing the streaming platforms. He could be single-handedly changing the record industry, single-handedly changing how people tour, single-handedly changing how people present fashion shows, all these type of things that would maybe, you know, help people on the ground level, help real people. But instead, all he's doing is giving us tweets. That's it, just tweets. And all of it feels like it's geared towards promoting something, whether it's promoting an album, YEEZY.com, or whatever else is going on interview. It doesn't even feel like it's earnest. It feels like he's just doing this to get under people's skin. Like he was saying stuff about gays, stuff about Jews, stuff about fat people, stuff about white people, stuff about black people, stuff about rape survivors, assault, Me Too victims, all this malarkey, just mad shit. Trying his best, just throwing anything at a dartboard, hoping it will stick. And to be honest, it's kind of sad. It's kind of sad. I can still separate the art from the artist, because I've had I've been lucky enough to follow different types of genres of music and be into different areas of things. So there's loads of, one of the people I always kind of speak about a lot, or that I always kind of mention when I'm talking about Ye, is Morrissey from the Smiths. And he's somebody that I feel like is the black version of that, in that Morrissey, the person, is a piece of shit, but the stuff he's done with the Smiths and some of his solo work is really fucking good. So you have a hard time kind of, figuring up in your head how you can support a guy who has such awful views but makes such great music. And I think the same happens with Ye. Ye makes such great stuff, such great art, but the views that he's, puts out there are so deplorable, so disgusting, that you're like, oh my God. And I mentioned it before, the thing that's really annoying for me more so is that there is so much like negativity and awfulness going on in the world right now. Like shit is bad, like real fucking bad, especially in the States. You've got Elon Musk essentially being an unelected bureaucrat, looking like he's trying to shoehorn his way into the fucking Oval Office if he isn't already in there. And loads of other things occurring. You know, you got the fucking ceasefire in Gaza is about to crumble this Sunday if the hostages aren't released. You've got the issue happening in Sweden with the school shootings. You've got issues happening in Congo. You know, you've got the fucking just loads of shit happening around the world. You got the fucking mental health crisis here in the UK. You got the fucking gang-related crimes in here in the UK. You got so many things happening around the world. Like, it's a really dark time. And you would think if you're someone like a Ye, you are there to basically provide us with a distraction by creating great work, great art that allows us to kind of daydream, that allows us to kind of escape from the cruelty and the evilness and the darkness of what the world that surrounds us, right? And instead of using that talent, that God-given talent that he's been given to give us an out for our everyday life, he's pouring more darkness out there, you know? Going out of his way to be mean, going out of his way to be a piece of shit. And it's like, God almighty, man, when will this end? Like, when will it end, bro? I get what you're doing in a way. Hey, I've got all this money and I'm showing you what fuck you money means. I'm saying fuck you, but I'm saying fuck you in all these different ways, right? I'm using F slurs. I'm calling Jews weird names. I'm saying mad shit because I know no one can cancel me. Okay, cool. You could say that, but why would you say that? You know? Why would you go out of your way to be mean to people and not direct? And that's the thing I've never understood with Ye when it comes to certain things. Direct your ire, direct your insults towards the people who are directly affecting you. Not just cover everybody with a broad stroke of a brush. Direct your insults to the particular Jewish people who have fucked you over and pissed you off. Cool. Even that is still targeted abuse, but at least you're talking to people directly. Why do you have to talk about and diminish and kind of insult the whole entire Jewish people, whole entire gay people, whole entire fat people, whole entire blacks, everything else in between? It's like, God almighty, man. Isn't it going to be enough soon? Isn't it going to be enough? I guess not. I guess not. If you are looking to find some of these tweets, there is a good site here. Allegedly, Sneeko made this. It's called YEEZY Tweets. It's spelled YZY-TWTS.com. And it's an archive of all Ye's tweets until the day he got banned or the day he kind of deactivated. So you can see all of his tweets of what he said. So I'm going to read through some. This is from the 7th of February, going, you know, onwards and shit. So you can get an idea on what he was saying before he announced his exit. He says, free Puff. Another one here, he says, Tycoon. Another one, all these celebrity niggas and bitches is pussy. Y'all watch our brother rot and never say shit. He's talking about Diddy, by the way. He thinks people should be standing up for Diddy, which is hilarious. He added, Donald Trump says, please free my brother Puff Daddy. Another one says, fuck all the woke shit. Niggas addicted to complaining and do something. We all watched them try to cancel Chris Brown. Ain't nobody do nothing. I was pussy then too. Chris, it's till the wheels fall off. So him supporting Chris Brown, which is or whatever. Slavery is a choice again in all caps. They trying to prove a point, and y'all fucking know that, and sitting laughing at fucking internet on Instagram. This man gave his life to us. This is my idol. This is my hero. Talking about Puff Daddy, by the way. Basically trying to say that even though he's been accused of crimes, he's been accused of abuse and raping people and shit, what is happening to him is some sort of like deep state sort of like, yeah, deep state takedown to try and teach him a lesson. Because there are some people out there that actually believe that, though. There's some people that believe that Diddy's only going down because of what happened with Diageo when he tried to sue Diageo, the liquor company that owned Ciroc, for racial discrimination. They're trying to say that it's not that he actually abused Cassie on camera. It's not that he's been accused of other forms of abuse via certain court, lawsuits and shit. It's because he sued Diageo for racial discrimination. That's why he's in prison right now, which is, whatever. Another one says, what y'all gonna do? Cancel my sneaker deal? Cancel my record deal? Freeze my accounts? Fuck all y'all niggas. Slavery is a choice. I'm speaking my mind now. Ain't editing shit again. Ever. Another one says, fuck Diageo. Another one says, all you please come at me. That's how we spot the coons. Let these white people and Jewish people tell you what to do and say. Fuck Diageo. And fuck all your niggas in advance. Another one says, at YEEZY.com, I'm selling the Sean John collaboration that me and my brother spoke about before they locked him up. and we split in the profits 50-50. So I guess we weren't aware of this, but I guess Ye and Diddy were on talking terms before they got locked up. Hence why we got this tweet. Puff get one call a morning. Then we've got some picture there of the Sean John YEEZY collab, which is just Sean John, the name of Diddy's first fashion brand that was actually, I think it might have been debuted in Milan Fashion Week if I'm not mistaken. It was a collab with Ye. I guess what he did is just had like his blanks, so his cuts of his t-shirts with Sean John's script written on the front, which is a decision to be fair if you're wearing that. Available in multiple colors. Another one says, I love game for life, nobody hacked me. Another one says, I love cutting the grass every couple of years. Just for clarity, they're trying to make an example of Puff. Me and my brother had our issues, but this white people trying to use Puff to scare niggas is niggas. I'm neither scared nor brave. This is just me. I just found out that Puff is not allowed to make or collect money while he's locked up, so I'm gonna send his half of money to Justin. Who's ever after Puff, we gotta find out exactly who they are. Okay, cool, play off the grid. My heart was not jumped, nor one moment today. I've got still in my veins, God mode. Puff, we love you. So yeah. Yeah, it was on a mad one. Then we'll go to his last tweets before he got his Twitter taken down. Let's do his last couple of ones before he took down his Twitter. He posted a picture of his wife on the red carpet. Said, hands down the best red carpet look of all time. Another one says, I'm reposting this. I don't think it was fair to have it taken down. This is sent to my wife yesterday. And I think it was basically somebody said some mean things to his wife on via texts, which kind of looked like something that he said, to be fair. I'm not gonna lie. Even the way it was written, it kind of looked like Ye sent the text to his wife. You know, or he wrote the text himself. Whatever. Another one says, people want leaders even in their own homes, but the men have been castrated. I wish I had a relationship with my dad that Puff has with his kids. Crazy. Puff is a way better dad than my dad. And a way better dad than me. Yeah, he's fucking insane. And this is why I'm willing to die for my tweets. Slavery is a choice. Even if y'all, the Jews, send your own people at me. Nobody can do anything about anything. No one can tell me what to do. Everyone tells you what to do. I'm not here to relate or get people to agree. I give a fuck if this raises sales or crashes the site. So basically preempting what's happening next, as we're going to report. Another one says, trans people need to tell men they are trans before they engage in anything romantic or sexual. Yo, Ye's been watching some fucking Fresh and Fit. Ye's on some Fresh and Fit shit. Ye's on some Fresh and Fit shit. This is so cool. Everything you see on TV is propaganda. Even if you see war, it's intentionally shown to you. Showing you guys the 2 highest selling items yesterday. And I think he's showing that because I think the items that were the highest selling was the hoodie that I think Cassie wore. That was from the Yeezus era. And I think a couple of those White Lives Matter t-shirts. I think that's what he was trying to say. I'm not smart enough to do anything illegal. Money and the law are the only things binding everything else. Every else's opinion. And no one's opinion means shit. COVID gone COVID. War's gone war. I don't let my kids control anything I do. They not my parents. I'd rather pay the price for expressing myself than to pay the price for not expressing myself. Would you rather be hated for you? Would you rather be hated for you? Are you loved for who you aren't? Okay, whatever. Another one says, Elon unfollowed me, so I'm not sure how long I'll be on Twitter. If I'm taking off, go on Yeezy.com. By the way, I don't think Elon unfollowing him was an indication of him being banned. I think Elon must have unfollowed him because it's just annoying. Because I guess Elon probably doesn't follow that many people, so his feed isn't that populated by random tweets. So having Kanye tweeting as much as he does probably just pissed him off, having that on his feed. So that's probably why he unfollowed him, most likely. Or maybe he just wants to, you know, make sure that he kind of kept his hands clean. I don't know. But hilarious that he noticed that, by the way. Another one says Drome, him talking about some room thing he was going to make. Another one says, even though Elon has forced to unfollow me, he's a G. The world has never been allowed to see someone express themselves freely for this long. Freedom of expression is the next level of freedom. Everyone answers to somebody except me. I don't answer to anyone. I don't have a boss, and no one can tell me what to do. I give orders. I don't take advice. I'm a future president. The Jews have destroyed my country and a lot of the world. Compare Jews designed cities to the cities designed by Hitler and Albert Speer, and I will redesign America. I said a future president, not a future president. I would legalize sex work. I tweet to wake the woke. I just woke up from a nap, so I'm energized and super clear to next piece of math with me and see if it adds up. By the way, the orders thing is something that that's been quite clear if you're a Ye fan from the beginning, right? I forgot what the song was about. You can't tell me nothing and shit. We should have known. But I also kind of understand where he's coming from, because Ye's career from the very beginning, from when he got signed, from when he was trying to convince people he was a great rapper and not just a producer, he's always been second guessed. From the very beginning, from the very moment he stepped into the industry, he's always been second guessed. And he's always proved everybody wrong. Tenfold, 100-fold, a millionfold. So I kind of understand why he has this complex where now that I have money, you can't tell me shit because all my ideas work, but you guys always doubt my ideas. So that's why he's on this tip. But now it's getting annoying because it seems like he's just using the fact that he has money and the ability to say what he wants because he has that money as a way just to be mean. Whereas really, you would imagine part of having fuck you money is to do what you want, but not to the detriment of others, right? Do what you want means, you know, traveling as much as you want, living life on your own terms, but it shouldn't be at the expense of others, suffering, pain, whatever it may be. That's when you're overstepping the line. And it's super unnecessary too, because he could clearly aim his vitriol and his anger directly to the people who have affected him, but for whatever reason, he wants to just, you know, just generalize insults, which I think is way out of line, and it gets really boring after a while. But I get why he got there. Like I said, he's been second guessing his entire career. Now he always said from the beginning, he wants to ascertain as much money or attain as much money as possible to not give anybody any right to say anything to him anymore. But now he's got here, god damn it, he's annoying. God damn it, he's fucking annoying. It continues. He says, men get threatened not to see their kids all the time. These are the subjects of my tweets were deleted while I was asleep. Only Muslims blames for 9/11 when you know who didn't show up to work that day. Ben Shapiro not having a real power. Paid first week music sales. Dave Chappelle speaks for you. That's speaks for you. The you know who's not the blacks. The you know who's wives yapping and running their households. Michael Jordan's and my mum and Bill Cosby's son being murdered. Having to put you own and you who's to work. Eric Coy being the reason Stephen Smith left YEEZY. Beneath Minister Louis Farrakhan, I'm the most powerful black man in America that's ever existed. Why? Because Obama and Martin Luther King worked for the Jews. I work for myself. I speak my mind. When I cried about abortion, but at least I chose my own words. If it's about the culture, why are we letting Taylor Swift be seen on TV singing a song about taking a black man down and accusing things that can take a black man down for life? Kendrick is being used by these white people and the Jews, and so am I. As I tweet in code words and kiss Elon's ass and beg him not to cancel my account. Let me start by saying I have hit... This is Ye speaking, by the way. Let me start by saying I have hit women before. Drake said Kendrick hit his girl, but that is not recorded on tape, like the Puff video. I'm in LA right now at the Four Seasons. I am risking my life to tweet this, so walk with me. Drake says Kendrick hits his queen. The world sees Puff hit Cassie. Kendrick is at the Super Bowl. Puff is in jail. They pick which niggas they want to prop up and who they want to put down, and when they want to. But all celebrities are scared and selfish. We sit in our mansions, get extorted by our so-called family, friends, and bitches. I'm in LA, niggas will want to and or succeed at killing me for this one tweet alone. I've offended niggas I've offended niggas, honkies, Jews, and fat bitches. A fat bitch may try to kill me. If this is my last day on earth, play this in my movie. And play the fat bitch part 2, because I'm funny and all you niggas is funny to me. Okay. Another one. I'm sorry to my brother Trav. I've got into it with Puff and now I'm doing everything to get Puff out of jail. I've always felt like if them people ever came to get me, that Travis would come to get me. Because this is in response to Travis Scott unfollowing him. Also, Tyler the Creator also unfollowed him. And Tyler's been quite defensive of Ye in his artistry. When Ye was crashing out before, he went and visited him, I think, and was publicly supporting him. So the fact that Tyler and Travis have finally cut ties with him is probably proof that, you know, people closest and nearest have realized, yeah, he's on a downward spiral. But I still think it's very performative because he's not said anything different this crash out to the numerous other ones, personally. I don't think so. And then his last tweet before he left was, I'm logging out of Twitter, thank God. I appreciate Elon for allowing me to vent. It has been a very cathartic... let me squeeze out that. It's been a very cathartic to use the world as a sounding board. It was like an ayahuasca trip. Love all of you who gave me your energy and attention. Till we connect again, good afternoon and good night. So that was the last tweet from Ye on February 10th, 3:48 a.m. Thank God it's over. Thank God it's fucking over. I cannot lie. Because that was brutal. As a big Ye fan, to see him tweet some of those things was kind of crazy. But again, nothing that I haven't heard before. The really heartbreaking shit was the Cassie shit and how he spoke about victims of domestic violence and Me Too victims and shit. But again, he's crazy, man. He's a definition of a complex artist. Like, he gives us amazing albums. He gives us amazing moments. There's actually a clip going viral at the moment. There's a clip going viral. I think courtesy of like NFR. Let me see if I can find that out. Is it NFR? Yeah, I think it might be NFR podcast. They put out this tweet and I completely forgot. I forgot the song. What's the song called again? It's a song by Young Thug. He actually debuted that at a YEEZY show, you know. So those moments only occur at YEEZY shows. There was a song. What's it called? Was it like what is it? I don't know what the name of it is called. But I'll play a little bit for you now so you can hear it. But NFR podcast, big up NFR _podcast on Twitter. They posted a clip from one of Ye's what do you call it? One of Ye's little kind of events they used to have. There was like sound event. I've noticed it was a YEEZY show where he had like Yachty there, Young Thug, all standing and modeling. But he also was an opportunity for him to play Saint Pablo. So he let people come up to the booth and plug their phone in with their aux cable to play new tunes. And Young Thug debuted a song from his catalog that we all know and love. And I actually forgot that this song was debuted at that show. So only Ye can do these type of things. But unfortunately, when you get those type of events, you also get crazy moments like we just saw, where he kind of crashed out and said what he said, you know, about everybody. So you get some of the good moments, some of the bad moments with Ye like that. Unfortunately, it's just part of the complex genius that he has. But it's getting to a point now where people are starting to get fed up, really, really fed up of, you know, of him and what he does. So I'm not too sure how long he can continue doing that and have people's forgiveness. Like, I wonder if it'll reach a point. I'm curious to see. Is it going to reach a point where Ye's support is going to start dwindling? Because a part of me thinks, this might be a bit of a stretch, but a part of me thinks he does this thing because he actually needs to. Like, his music, like before in the past, Ye would drop an album surprise. There wouldn't be too much, you know, promo. There wouldn't be too much nothing about the album. It would just drop out of nowhere. And because Kanye is who he is, the album would do fucking numbers and it would kind of be amazing. But maybe he's noticed nowadays, especially with him having this ongoing war with streaming platforms, that the music isn't hitting as loudly as it was in the past. So that might be the reason why he does all these antics, as a way to keep his name in the press, so that when the music does drop, there are people are paying attention to it. That might be the reason. That might be the legit reason why he's doing this. Like, he actually does need to do it. Even though I think he doesn't, he actually does. So here's the track actually. Here's a track. Let me play it for you. So this is an event at one of YEEZY's shows. At a YEEZY show that he did. I think it was for the St. Pablo thing. It's that epic moment where him and Kid Cudi are in a booth, like jumping up and down, and Pusha T's there and shit. And Lil Yachty's modeling, Ian Connor's modeling, Young Thug is modeling, a bunch of other people are modeling as well there. Really epic kind of YEEZY moment. Back when he was working at Adidas, by the way, some of the best stuff you've seen from Ye come out during that time. And he let Young Thug plug in his phone into the fucking, into the system. And he played one of these songs. And I completely forgot that this song was debuted for the first time at a fucking YEEZY show. So again, proof that you only get these moments with Ye at his shows. No one else can do this type of shit. No one else can do these sort of like cultural moments. So let me see it load and then we can continue. But again, a really sad situation all around concerning what's happening. And I don't know, would you even call it sad? I don't think it's sad. I think he's doing it on purpose now. So I don't even think it's sad anymore. I think he's doing it on purpose to annoy us, annoy people. And yeah, I just think he's basically trying to get under people's skin, which is really deplorable to say what he's saying, just to kind of annoy people. And even if he isn't and he needs help, he needs to go and get that help. He needs to leave us out of the group chat, leave us out of his fucking sessions and shit, and go and get the help that he clearly needs. But he doesn't want to get it. So, I'm not extending any kind of sadness or whatever to him, because he's clearly doing it to kind of wind us up and to piss people off and push people's buttons, which I think is deplorable to say the least. So this is a clip of Young Thug plugging his song in to the fucking system during this YEEZY show at the Madison Square Garden. This is 9 years ago, by the way. 9 years ago, when Ye premiered The Life of Pablo, Young Thug plugs in his song and debuts this absolute smash record from him, by the way. Smash record from fucking Young Thug. Let me zoom in a bit so you can see this. This is absolutely insane. I completely forgot this song was debuted at a YEEZY show 9 years ago. Absolutely wild. And again, you can only get these moments courtesy of Ye. You can only get these moments courtesy of Ye. Let it quickly load up here. Apologies for the stalling, but it's taking some moment to load up because my computer is a bit slow. But we move. Here we go. Yep, here we go.
Hold up, Thug wanna play some new shit. Thug, baby. Fuck all that, let's get to it. What the song say? She stuck on the dick on the plane and I just call her airhead. I just went hunting and I found me a rabbit. I picked out the carrot.
Yeah.
I got a white bitch and she give me the bacon, but her name is Sorry. I pimp out on.
There you go. I did not know that song debuted on the YEEZY show, mate. I had no idea. I completely had forgot that this song debuted at a fucking YEEZY show randomly. 1 second. Young Thug wants to play some new shit. Fucking hell.
Like a Lego, yeah. Homicide, you can lay with them. Got some hoes, you can slay with them. You know that we players, we paying them. She can't be my wife, I can't lay in there. Diamonds all black like I'm racist now. Ride.
When I say,
Bitch, it wanna fuck me, so wrong.
when I dance,
I got cash in my pants, I got
it's
cash.
on ass,
AP dance, bitches glance, cause my diamonds
blue
look like
glass.
I wanna fuck her, but she play more games in it.
Yeah, honestly, amazing. But I don't know, man. I'm not sure if this will be enough. I think we've gotten to a stage in life where your personality also matters. I think we've gotten to that stage in life now where your personality and your likability matters just as much as how good the art is. So I'm not too sure if people are going to extend Ye the grace that I extend him. I think it's getting kind of dark. It's getting kind of gloomy out there. And I think we're going to start to see a bit of a reaction, because I think he's starting to annoy people to the point where they're like, you know what? I don't care how great your art is. You are so annoying. I'm going to go out of my way not to support you because of how annoying you are. That's how annoying he's getting. People are not going to look past his words, his actions, and they're actually going to go out their way to spite him by not supporting him, which might be a bit of a weird moment in history where one of the greatest artists in hip-hop history will be kind of ostracized and not supported and cancelled by the fans because he's so fucking annoying. So let's see how it plays out. But yeah, I'm glad that Ye's off of Twitter. I, for one, am fucking glad that Ye's off of Twitter because he was driving me absolutely freaking insane. Seeing all those tweets, seeing people reacting to them and getting fake annoyed. Like when it's the same thing he's always said. Then suddenly he says something really inflammatory and you're like, oh shit, maybe they have a point. You know, it just wouldn't stop. And I really hate like when celebrities kind of like force us into their minds, if that makes any sense. I hate the kind of, because I guess because I don't overshare myself, I'm very private with certain things. When people overshare and go out of their way to kind of make you listen to their inner deepest thoughts, it really grinds my gears. So when Ye's going through his clearly mental episode, it's annoying because like, bro, just go and get the help that you need. No one's going to blame you for taking some time away. No one's going to look at any different for admitting the fact, but you clearly need it. Why are you subjecting us to this stuff? Why are you putting us through this? We don't deserve this, you know? Especially the fans. We don't deserve this because we've always held you down. Why are you now coming after us? Like, allow it. He doesn't allow it. So, because he's not allowing it, Ye's YEEZY site has now gone down. And I'm fucking gutted. YEEZY site has gone down. Yeezy.com has gone down. I'm so fucking pissed. I missed opportunity to get the Yeezy boots that came out recently and a pair of Yeezy trainers that came out. Not on top of the slippers. Slippers I don't give a fuck about, but he brought some boots out that look fucking incredible. They kind of remind me of like 424 boots. And he also brought out some sneakers. They're like I think there's like a Yeezy SLP2 or something like that, right? A really cool sneaker that I'm fucking gutted I didn't get. Let me actually see if I've got. I might have a picture of the trainer that I'm talking about available somewhere on here. Let me quickly check it here. Actually, no, I think I might actually have it on my image drawer. Let me actually I might actually quickly upload so I can show you what I'm talking about. But the shoes are really fucking cool, and I'm fucking gutted I wasn't able to get a pair before the site got taken down. Basically, Shopify took down his entire site because of obviously the swastika shirt. If you're not aware, Ye had a NFL Super Bowl halftime advert where it's just him at the dentist getting his grills done, I think, high off nitrous oxide, telling people to go on Yeezy.com. And when you go on Yeezy.com during the halftime show, the only product that was available to purchase was the swastika shirt. There's a white t-shirt with a swastika in the middle. That was the only thing available to buy in the store. Everything else was hidden. You couldn't see it, but it was hidden. But it was there, sorry, but it was hidden. But he had some boots that just dropped recently that I've fucking gutted I couldn't purchase. And they look so fucking hard. Let me see if I can get a picture of them to upload on here so I can show you what they look like. But they look really fucking cool. But unfortunately, I missed out on them because I wasn't here, basically. I was in Amsterdam, so I wasn't able to jump on them ASAP. But they were available. Where are they? I think they're somewhere here. Do I have them? Oh, maybe I don't. I thought I had them somewhere on here. I thought I had them. Bear with me 2 seconds here. Those is really cool. Okay, there they are. There they are. Let me quickly upload this to my image GBB or IMG baby to show you what I mean, because I really did like what I saw here. I really did like what I saw. Let me get some of this stuff out of the way. Bish bash bosh. Bish bash bosh. And then I'll show you what I mean based on those images. So let me actually just quickly get my face off the screen, refresh that, and I'll show you. This actually is the shoes that I wanted, but unfortunately, like I said before, I missed out on them because Ye decided to sell a swastika shirt, and the Shopify CEO was like, you know what? We can't be having that, mate. We can't be having you trying to sell a swastika shirt. So they took it all fucking down, which is fucking annoying. But I understand. I completely understand why they took it down. Let me get it. Bear with me 1 second here. It should be available right now. There we go. That's the shirt. Those are the shoes. So he brought out 2 shoes. The SL1, which is the slipper shoe. The SL2, it looks like more of a conventional runner type silhouette with no laces. It's all encapsulated. It's kind of to cover it. And it's also a boot that I think he wore during this little thing that he had with Jim Jones, which is called the SL3. So those two things were available. They were both fucking available. Both fucking available. I really, really, really fucking wind up here. But unfortunately, he decided to troll because the Super Bowl ad was fucking crazy and not really well thought out. He was purposely saying the entire time and clearly high off his fucking mind on whatever nitrous they gave him there. And then when you went on the YEEZY site, the only thing that was available was a swastika t-shirt. Nothing was available to purchase. So clearly he was trying to troll. And unfortunately for him, he trolled too hard because the CEO or the president of Shopify took down his account. Took down his Shopify account. So now his Shopify story has gone down. I'm sure some of you have seen it. If you try to go yeezy.com, as I tried to go on here, yeezy.com there, all that comes up is this symbol that says something went wrong. What happened? The store is unavailable. What can I do? Return to the homepage. So yeezy.com is completely gone. Does not exist anymore. Courtesy of Shopify because of the swastika shirt, I'm assuming. But it feels like, based on what this guy's saying, the president of Shopify, they only took it down because Ye wouldn't remove the swastika shirt. I think they wanted to keep the store up because it's in their best interest because they make some sort of, money from the amount of sold on Shopify. So I think they gave him a day to take down the shirt, but he didn't take it down. Then they took down the whole store. I think that's what happened. Let's play the video. Here's a clip of the Shopify president talking to somebody from CNBC about Ye's site and his swastika shirt.
So Harley, speaking of your merchants, as you know, a widely followed famous anti-Semite bought a Super Bowl ad.
One of the greatest artists of all time. Don't reduce him to an anti-Semite, please.
Directing people to buy swastika t-shirts.
Even though he technically is. Even though he technically is. Let's maybe, talk about all the great works he's done, okay? Imagine Ye's legacy now is he's an anti-Semite, Holocaust denier, Hitler apologist. It's like all of My Beautiful Dark Fantasy is completely gone. That's erased. Yeezus is completely gone. Yeezy's completely gone. College Dropout completely gone. All people remember now is the anti-Semite press tour, the Hitler apologies, the Benjamin Netanyahu shit, the Alex Jones shit, Nick Fuentes shit. Oh God, Milo shit. Damn.
On a website that you hosted. Why did you not pull that website immediately?
Well, the website is down right now, but look, all merchants that use Shopify,
It was up all
Sarah,
of yesterday.
Yeah, so all merchants are responsible for following the rules of our platform.
By the way, I love startup speak, right? Because I used to work with startups. I used to work for a bunch here in the UK. I followed startups for a long time. I'm still very much in that world. So I love when startup people speak because they always speak in I don't know how they have this ability to say loads of words without actually saying anything. So listen to how he dodges the question. She's being very direct with what she's saying. Question: why didn't you take down his site sooner? And he's basically explaining the terms of service to her. But he's making it sound like he's answering her question, but he's not really answering her question. It's a talent a lot of executives and founders and presidents, CEOs, CFOs have in startup world, where they can say a lot without saying anything. It's really, really special.
This merchant did not engage in authentic commerce practices, and they had an entire day to prove otherwise, which did not happen. They violated our terms. We removed them from Shopify.
But your terms of service say you can pull the website for any reason, as you just said. So why didn't you pull it sooner?
Look, good process creates good outcomes, Sarah, and we follow a good process here. It was down the moment we realized this was not actually a real commerce practice. They weren't actually engaging in authentic commerce. We pulled it down.
What's your reaction to it?
What?
It's disappointing. I'm a proud Jewish entrepreneur. I'm a proud...
Oh, I thought you were about to say I'm a proud Kanye fan. It's disappointing. I'm a proud Kanye fan. I love fucking Yeezus. Airways and Heartbreak is a legendary album. It was ahead of its time.
Jewish community member. You and I have talked about this on the past, that it's a big part of my identity. So obviously I'm devastated by that. But I do believe that good practice, good process leads to good outcomes, and that's what we did here. We pulled the shop down.
Fucking hell, mate. Jewish people as well, they're fucking everywhere, innit? They run fucking Shopify. On the biggest fucking merchant platforms in the world. I fucking love it. Big up the Jews. And Ye's site is gone now. I wonder what he's going to do now. Will Ye set up a separate site Well, I'm sure there must exist. There must exist a right-wing conservative version of Shopify. That must be a thing. Somebody's definitely set it up. Some dork, some nimwit has definitely set up a free speech, anything is allowed sort of, shopping platform or selling platform that must exist. Or is he going to go somewhere else, maybe set up a vintage store, maybe start selling on Facebook Marketplace? What's he going to do now? Is he going to just host it all on Squarespace or something? Is he going to build his own store infrastructure, handle his own payments? I forgot the brand. There's a company that handles payments. I remember a startup I used to work for. There was a brand or a company that handled the payments on the back end. I think it was something Tree. Where they handle all the back end payments. I'm not too sure how easy that works. I'm not too sure how easy it is to kind of, because I know PayPal are a little bit finicky with that sort of stuff, in terms of payments and stuff, and obviously they'll definitely ban him in an instant. So I wonder if it's possible he could just build his own infrastructure in terms of selling his own stuff. But right now, Shopify has gone down. But the good news is, if you purchase anything on Shopify, somebody from the Good Ass Sub actually reached out to a rep from YEEZY.com, and a customer service person said, if you purchase anything from Shopify, from the YEEZY Shopify site, before it got taken down, it will be fulfilled. Unless they don't have it in stock and they'll refund you. So don't worry, your money hasn't gone anywhere. If they've got stock of your shit, they'll send it. If they don't, they'll refund you. So you're basically safe either way. I'm pretty sure. So yeah, here it is. Is it here? No, okay, that's the solution. Look, let's see. I think there's a message here that he had from somebody from the YEEZY.com customer service team. By the way, bless everybody working for YEEZY.com customer service. That is not an easy job. So bless you. So this is it. YEEZY.com customer service replied to Good Ass Sub, and they said, I understand your concerns and I want to reassure you that orders are still being processed. Despite the website being down, all existing orders will be fulfilled. If there are any changes, they will be officially communicated. We appreciate your patience and you'll receive your confirmation email with tracking once your order ships. Let me know if you have any other questions. So nice to hear that everything's going to be shipped. If you haven't ordered it already, I'm jealous of you guys who have ordered some stuff. And the other update is this one. I just saw it courtesy of an hour ago. This is the update courtesy of YEEZY customer service. They says, thank you for reaching out to us. We apologize for any inconvenience caused by the current situation. As you are aware, YEEZY.com is temporarily unavailable due to Shopify's recent action, and we are actively working on a solution to resolve this issue as quickly as possible. Please resolve it, yay. The only thing you're good for now is selling shoes and fucking clothes. I've seen some of the images of people wearing the rain jackets and the long coats, and they look like good quality for $20 or for £17. They look pretty decent. Again, nothing crazy, nothing amazing, but for that kind of cut of stuff that you want, especially me, the type of sweatpants I like to wear, the type of hoodies I like to wear, and t-shirts I like to wear, it's fucking perfect. So I would like to purchase some stuff. So hopefully the site is up sooner rather than later, so we can purchase some stuff on there. But they said, we want to reassure you that we are doing everything possible to resolve the situation, and we'll keep you promptly informed with any updates as soon as they become available. We appreciate your patience and understanding during this time, and we'll be in touch as soon with further detail. Thank you for your continued support. So if you are wondering, YEEZY.com should be back online soon. Big up YEEZY. Big up Young Old Vibes in the stream chat. Big up Young Old Vibes. His team is to blame, because if Kanye told me to do what he does on his website, I would have to call the authorities. yeah, no, for sure. But I also think people have said it already about Ye. And I think about anybody that's got money. Anybody that's got money, you basically control your environment. That's one of the things that I am trying to aim for when it comes to me becoming successful and attaining the riches and whatever that I want. It's mostly for options. I'm not really bothered about material possessions and shit. I'm not bothered about fancy clothes or jewelry. I like fashion, of course, but I'm not that bothered about looking a certain way or having fancy jewelry or driving in a gold car. It's more so the ability to choose your surroundings and who you hang out with and where you go, all that sort of malarkey. So I think rich people, especially rich, egotistical, narcissistic people like Kanye, they go out their way to only surround themselves with people who basically, enable them. So even if you think you would do differently in that situation, guess what? Ye would get rid of you straight away. He wouldn't have you in his orbit. He would get rid of you. And there's many people who have said that. He doesn't have people around him who don't kiss his ass. Everybody around him kisses his ass. Everybody around him encourages him, turns a blind eye, buries his head in the sand. And that's what he can kind of do with the money that he has. He can kind of control pick and choose the people around him. And once you get around him and you start enjoying the fact that because I've also heard from the inside sources via my DMs from people that work directly with him that he's a very, very, very good boss in that he pays on time. Your invoices get paid on time, and sometimes, because you're so crazy, you sometimes get more than you actually deserve. You actually get more than you actually worked. So people are sometimes getting overpaid working at YEEZY. But because the guy's so rich and so crazy, he doesn't even fucking notice. So you work for a designer who, for one, usually in that fashion world, people don't get paid invoices on time at all. So the fact that you get paid your invoice on time and it's usually above what your fucking rate is or above what you're actually worth, people are more than prone to shut their fucking mouth and let him say what he says. Obviously to our detriment and his detriment, but that's the case. Big up Fashion Roman and chat Wagwan G. He says, just joined, but that YEEZY Super Bowl ad was so unhinged. Yeah, it was, but it was kind of perfect too in a way. It was kind of perfect in how direct it was. It didn't really, I think I would have been more put off if I was in a stadium. Imagine the people that are in the stadium watching that. Like, what the fuck is going on here? Like, it's just, like, you can't get away from him. You know what I mean? He's just everywhere. Here he is with his fucking face, clearly super high from the nitrous or whatever. At a dentist telling you to go on YEEZY.com. Then you get curious while you're in the stadium about to watch the fucking Super Bowl. And then you're like, you know what? Let me just check YEEZY.com. And then the first thing you see is a swastika t-shirt. You're like, fuck, this guy, man. This fucking guy. So, yeah, Ye is a wild boy. That's for sure. He's a wild fucking boy. But the site is now down. And the another update on that is that Ye's been dropped by his talent agency. Which is, neither here or there, to be fair. Because we don't even know the name of his talent agency. But according to Pop Base, they said, effective immediately, I am no longer representing Ye due to his recent harmful and hateful remarks that myself nor the 33 and West stand for. So I guess it's the agency. It's called 33 and West. Who else 33 and West agency. Let's see who else they represent. 33 and West. There's a talent agency based in Los Angeles, California. Let's see their roster. Who are their roster of artists at the moment? Because Ye is not on there anymore. So let's go to music. Who's the roster of music people they represent here? I like the logo. The logo is pretty cool. They represent Acid Bath, Alan White, Altameda. Who are these people? Attack. Oh, I know Attack. I know Ariel Pink. Ariel Pink is very... Come on, 33 and West. You represent Ariel Pink, but then you're getting rid of fucking Ye. Come on. He said some very dicey shit about the Jews too. That doesn't make any sense. They represent Come Girl, the band Come Girl. They wrote a really good album last year actually. Big up Come Girl. What else? Who else they represent here? Fairy Tale Fever, LA Twitch. Represent a lot of what you deem to be like edgy artists here, to be fair. Wolf and Bear, 1056, yeah. So I'm surprised they're being so finicky with fucking Ye. Or maybe Ye's being so dicey they've got no other choice. Comedians, they represent Jason Ellis. Okay, Jason Ellis. This is the only one I recognize on this list. Who's not that well known. Natalie Kumo, that horrible stand-up comedian that had that horrible crash out on stage when she tried to do some crowd work and the guy basically ripped into her back and she kind of freaked out. But I don't recognize anybody else on that list. And then the last thing, let's do film and TV. No one on film and TV. So yeah, 33 and West have kind of dropped Ye. So I guess it's all over for him when it comes to representation. But there's also another really sad update. This one, courtesy of Los Angeles Times. Kanye West called himself Hitler and was abusive to ex-employee, a lawsuit alleges. So he's being sued again. I wonder how many active lawsuits there are against Ye or YEEZY, the company. Fucking hell, man. So here's the article quoted Los Angeles Times. Kanye told a Jewish employee that he was a Nazi, compared himself to Adolf Hitler, and fired her the day after she complained about his behavior, according to a lawsuit filed on Tuesday. West, who now goes by Ye, and made similar remarks during his hate-fueled series of Twitter posts on X last week before deactivating the account on Monday, also repeatedly called the employee ugly as fuck and a bitch. Can you get sued for calling somebody ugly as fuck if they are ugly as fuck? If it's just an observation. If they are objectively ugly as fuck, can you actually sue somebody for that? Huh. And call them a bitch before daring her to sue him, according to a 33-page complaint. The suit seeks monetary damages and accuses West of discrimination, retaliation, creating a hostile work environment, a breach of contract. The plaintiff filed the suit anonymously in order to protect herself, given West's current celebrity and status, according to attorney Kanye Sheridan. Emails to West and his attorney seeking comment were not immediately returned Tuesday morning. 2 years before the suit was filed, West appeared on an awkward Super Bowl advertisement where he filmed himself rambling on a cell phone in a dentist chair while text appeared urging people to go to YEEZY.com. The website, which appeared to have been taken down Tuesday morning, was a blank page with the exception of a white t-shirt with a black swastika on it labeled HH01, which could be purchased for approximately $20. In the year since his divorce with Kim Kardashian, West has spiraled from a perch as one of the most influential voices in fashion hip-hop to a walking controversy dropped by his manager, record label, after he engaged in erratic behavior that included courting attention from conspiracy theorists and far-right figures. So, in case you're wondering, what did Ye say to this lady? It's not good. It's not fucking good. So, here's some tweets taken from the person's phone, I guess, in the actual lawsuit. So here are some tweets, some screenshots taken from her phone with some messages that Ye sent to this person. 1. In or around January 2024, Ye's new album Vultures 1 stirred up widespread controversy and denunciation over its cover art resembling a Nazi aesthetic. To quell the negative attention, plaintiff suggested to a co-worker that Ye issue a statement condemning any ties to Nazism. Plaintiff's co-worker conveyed the message to Ye, who replied, "I am a Nazi," in a tweet. Sorry, in a message. Looks like a DM. No, it looks like an iMessage actually. It looks like he sent this iMessage to this person and said, I am a Nazi, all the first letters capitalized. This is not only deeply offended though, but the loud and proud anti-Semitism also made her feel endangered. Right? Be made feel endangered by words on text is fucking insane, but hey. Another tweet he sent to the person, and this is in a group chat, it feels like too. Because it says 2 people at the top here. This is in a group chat, so it's Kanye, this person who's suing him, and somebody else. So the tweet says as follows, or the iMessage he sent to this person, who's an employee of his, right? Ex-employee. You ugly ass fuck. You ugly. You pussy, I guess maybe bitch. Or no, pussy maybe her name. You stupid ass corny bitch. You corny ass fuck. You were 4 after all the makeup. Your life is based off other people's lives, you corny ass 4. You told blank, you piece of shit. Now what you gonna do? Come destroy me, bitch. Heil Hitler. Come and get me, bitch. You fucking cornball. Your clothes are trash. Your hair is trash. You're blank. Then the person responds to Ye and says the following. I'm about to go to sleep. Peacefully as you should too. God bless you. He replies and says, now sue me, you corny ass bitch. God almighty, Ye. The only encouraging thing about this is that it's good to see that he texts in real life the same way he tweets on the internet. That's the only slightly encouraging thing to see about this, you know? He's the same in social as he's in real life. But anyway, it continues. He also says to this person, you know what's left after I said DEFCON? You're not in my league. And what you gonna do? Smear me? Try to get me locked up? Fuck you, you corny ass bitch. Wow. Wow, wow, wow. Okay? And that wasn't all. That wasn't all that Ye said. He also said the following to this person. Oh no, that was it. That was it. Thank God. No more tweets. No more messages. So Ye's also being sued by somebody, you know, for his raging and very enthusiastic anti-Semitism. And yeah, man, it is what it is, isn't it? Another day, another Ye controversy, another day, another Ye controversy. I guess we'll have to see how it plays out. I'm just waiting for the site to get back updated again so I can buy the shoes and the clothes. I really don't care for what he says anymore. I don't really pay attention to him anymore. I didn't even watch Justin LeBoy interview. And as a Ye fan, I used to be glued to the interviews. I'd sit there and kind of comb over them, rewatch them, pull quotes, use them as motivation and inspiration. But I haven't listened to a full Ye interview in years. And I wasn't about to sit there and listen to Justin LeBoy Glazier and Ye gives some really rambly, incoherent fucking answer. So, you know, I don't really care for what he says, what he does really. I don't really even care for the music that much. I just care more about the clothes and the shoes. So when the clothes and the shoes drop, I'll buy it. But the rest of the shit, you can miss me on that. The rest of the shit, you can absolutely miss me on that one. So no loss there. No loss there at all. 0, 0, 0. But again, what do I know? Absolutely nada. I know absolutely nothing. That's what I know. I know absolutely nothing. So let's continue on. Let's continue on. So I wanted to talk a little bit, slightly, about Drake. Drake is releasing a new album with Party Next Door called Some Sexy Songs For You. I'm not gonna lie, I don't like the title too tough. I like the cover art that I've seen so far. It looks really fucking cool. But the title of the album, I'm not really the biggest fan of. I'm not gonna lie. I don't really. Whoops. Sorry, I don't really like the title of the album. I don't like it. But one thing that I do like is the trolling. He decided to post on his Plot Twist account. That's basically his Finsta, which is now public, called Plot Twist. I'm sure some of you have seen it. And he posted this really funny video of Joe Budden walking out of his car, heading to a restaurant, I'm assuming, or maybe a strip club, who knows, looking a bit worse for wear, with nothing else as a caption. I don't think there was even a caption on there. No, I think it's called Shitting Me. The caption was Shitting Me. So Drake decided to post a clip of Joe walking out of his car, slow motion, with the caption "Sitting Me," and yeah, he looks a bit rough. Let's just say that. Let's play the clip of Joe walking out of his car on the way to an event somewhere. So, so I think the reason why Drake posted this is obviously because of him and Joe's ongoing feud that they keep having. They keep to always be sending, you know, subs at each other continually. Joe keeps saying shit about Drake. On his podcast, Drake will maybe throw some subliminals his way when it comes to raps. But I think Drake posted this clip because Joe looks fat as fuck. Joe legitimately looks pregnant. He looks like he's 8 months pregnant. His belly looks big and hard, mostly from gluttony. You can see he's kind of, you know, now he's rich and making money. You can tell from the jewelry and how big Joe's become. Joe was always somebody that liked to eat and liked to indulge himself in the finer things in life. But I bet you nowadays, Joe probably doesn't even eat at home anymore. I bet he's made so much money via podcasting, he doesn't even eat a home-cooked meal anymore. Everything he eats is from a restaurant. And he's really indulging himself, hence why he looks the way he does. So I think Drake's posting this mainly because Drake looks fucking fat as fuck. And it's really funny how he steps out of the car, chain smoking, stress smoking that cigarette, all the way until the end of the butt. Going into whatever hookah lounge event he's at, whatever he's going to. It's fucking hilarious. But the thing that I thought that was really funny about this was that Joe's been saying some very mean things about Drake on his podcast. He's been going at him pretty hard the last few months. And I really haven't heard much from Drake when it comes to replying to Joe. This is the first time I've seen Drake throw a little slight jab back at him. So it's really interesting. Whenever Drake does publicly jab back at Joe, Joe gets really pissed off. But it's like, you said bare stuff about him. Shouldn't it be equal? Like, shouldn't it just be like jab for jab, bar for bar? But for whatever reason, Joe gets really mad when Drake replies back to him. So he replied back to him via his podcast, actually, earlier today. And I want to hear what he actually said. This is Joe replying back to Drake posting him on his Finsta. Let's hear how Drake responded to that. Even though Joe's been going at Drake super hard, especially during the Kendrick beef, because they have a long-standing beef anyway. Let's see how Joe replies to this.
Hey, Drake, don't shoot at me now that you ice cold. I'm not doing it back and forth with a corpse.
Boo! Boo! How can you be a cold and a corpse when you're doing a fucking tour of Australia, selling out every single day? How can you be a corpse? How's that possible? He lost the battle, of course. We all saw that. We all have ears. We all have eyes. Kendrick absolutely sweeped him. We get it. He capped it off with a performance at the Super Bowl. We get it. But to say the guy is cold and whatever is funny. It really is when he's selling out arenas in fucking Australia. But hey, what do we know?
I wanted to do it when you was lit. It was fun. Don't go get shot all through the year and then pop up like Bernie at Weekend at Bernie's wanting to shoot at me now. No.
That's not fair. That's not fair. Joe's been, and again, I don't listen to the podcast as much as I used to in the past because Joe's fucking insufferable. But let's be fair. Joe has been sniping at Drake for ages. For ages. Drake fires back a little friendly jab. Didn't say much, by the way. Just posted a video clip of Joe coming out of a car looking kind of pregnant and really fat and rotund. If anything, Drake is trying to basically fat shame Joe because obviously he's let himself go. And he's getting this mad and telling Drake, no, you should go and attack everybody else first. Don't come at me. I'm just a podcaster. Then why are you talking then, mate? Why are you talking?
No, nigga. Go spin. Spin the fucking block. This fucking nigga. Are you crazy? I'll save it. But I just seen that shit. Is he crazy? Nigga.
That hurts. That hurt his feelings. That hurt his feelings. You know. That video hurt his feelings. Oh, honestly, Joe is the antithesis of like, can give it out but can't take it. Joe is the antithesis of somebody who can give it out but can't take it, mate. You've been clapping at that guy all fucking year, which is understandable, or all last year, understandable why. But come on.
You know it's pod day.
And 99 niggas done jumped on your ass. You out smoking hookah in turquoise boots. Don't post me. Nigga, go get your fucking lick back.
But didn't he get his lick back? He just lost to Kendrick, didn't he? But didn't he clap back at everybody? I don't think there's a single person he missed out on. He lost the war, so he lost the battle to Kendrick. But the war he did pretty well at. He cut at everybody. He cut at Rick Ross. He shut down Khaled with that feature. He sent shots at Rocky. He sent shots to The Weeknd. He said something. Allegedly, he cold-shouldered Travis at that fucking white party. He cut back at everybody. He even mentioned Joe in some bars. I don't think there's a single person he didn't address. I don't think so. I could be mistaken, but I don't think there's a single person who got at him that he didn't address. So, and also I think if you're worried with 99 people, that makes you look better, no? If you're one person beefing 99 people and you're still standing, that makes you look good, no?
Fucking bitch.
That's how you really feel.
You feel like I feel. You know what I'm saying? Anyway, I hate to do that to y'all. Put y'all in a position.
Who y'all?
Put nobody in a position. I know y'all like him.
You still know y'all?
I still like him.
I don't.
Yeah, you
I
still
don't
know
care.
y'all?
I'm buying that album Friday.
Yeah, I'm not buying the album, but
You're not buying the album?
I'm not a party fan. Y'all know that. I don't fuck with party music.
That's true.
I'm gonna listen to it. I'm not expecting much.
I want some sexy songs for the ladies and Joe. Fuck y'all doing. I like Drake with the melodies.
I hate him with the melodies.
Only Joe could be so sadistic. Like, imagine only Joe could be such a sadist, right? No, only Joe could be such a psycho to publicly beef with Drake, call him a pussy. Clearly, there's a lot of like anger and hatred towards Drake for, you know, maybe some personal reasons that we're not aware of because they had a personal relationship in the past, and still be okay to listen to his music in the company of women. I find that really weird. If I had some beef with an artist, like actual beef where if I saw him, because you know, if Drake ever saw Joe in real life, like they're fighting. This is not like some, you know, some hip hop media thing. They're actually going to throw blows, especially Drake's friends. They are definitely going to put hands and feet on Joe, for sure. And Joe, the way he's built, the way he walks, I don't think he's able to even run, you know? He looks very, very unathletic nowadays, based on the success of his podcast and shit. So it's funny that somebody like that would be okay to play that person's music. It just goes to show how unhinged Joe Budden actually is.
They ain't gonna shoot at me while you drop your party out. Boy.
Yeah, nigga.
Boy.
Pod day.
Knock it off.
Just so you can do what we're doing right now. Exactly.
Yeah.
It worked, nigga. We talking about his new album.
Right.
Knock it off.
Kendrick can't be the only one that played the game and dropped shit on pod day, nigga. We went crazy. He gotta do shit.
You gotta come shoot at one of his pallbearers. Nigga, that was me.
He said he ain't dead.
I was carrying the heavy side, nigga.
He said he ain't dead. He's still alive.
That
That's
nigga
what he
dead
said.
as could be. It's dead as a door.
You seen the hoodie?
It's dead, nigga. SZA left. Everybody left. I left. It's just you and Ack. It's just you and Ack now.
Nigga said I left.
You, Ack, and Aiden. Kanye, let Aiden have it.
He's trying too hard, to be fair. He's trying way too hard. Like, he knows deep down the guy's not dead. He knows deep down. That's actually one of the unfortunate thing about hip-hop beefs nowadays. No one can really die, I don't think. As long as you engage. Even Joe Cole, even J. Cole. Look at J. Cole. J. Cole should be ostracized from hip-hop completely. He engaged the beef, then waved the white flag. That goes against every tenet of fucking hip-hop. Obviously, Drake also waved the white flag, which I didn't like, right? He decided when it was over, okay, I'm over it now. You can't just start a beef or engage in it, and then when it's not going your way, take your ball home and run. I didn't like that from Drake. That I really did not like. Oh, I'm bored of it. I'm tired. You guys are playing this. You guys are making this more than what it is. That sort of shit I hated. But at least he did engage. He did give us some dubs. He did give us some fucking diss records. J. Cole dropped one diss record and fucking tucked tail and ran away. And he's still okay now. 6ix9ine snitched on everybody and he had a bit of a career. So this hip-hop era that we're in at the moment, it doesn't really matter what you do or say. As long as you engage, you're okay. Even if you don't engage, you're okay. So acting as if like Drake lost everybody is crazy. Especially considering how popular it is. Because I would imagine a lot of those people in Australia he's performing to probably don't have any idea the severity of the beef he was having with Kendrick. I bet you. A lot of those white people that are loving his music out there in Australia just love him because he's Drake. So if that's the case, can you be cold? Can you be dead? Maybe he's dead towards like, when it comes to like hip hop fans and purists, backpackers you could say. Maybe they are not looking for Drake anyway. But I don't think those people will check it for Drake anyway. I think if you're a Kendrick fan, you probably were never going to be a Drake fan. You know, they make completely different music, or you probably see different people, you know, when you kind of look at them. So I just find it weird how he keeps trying to push this dead narrative, because it's like, it's obviously not true. He's doing arena tours in Australia. Like, how can he be dead?
Y'all seen the text?
Did he?
Unless maybe Joe's one of those people who thinks doing arena tours and selling out those type of places in Australia is easy as an American act because you don't go there often, which I also think is a little bit overly simplistic, because that might be true. There might be some truth in the fact that if Soulja Boy went to Africa, he probably might sell out arenas because Americans just don't go there and it's a novelty of seeing an American act. But I still think in the midst of what's going on, to go somewhere like that at this kind of in the economy that we're in at the moment, to sell out those dates so much in advance is probably still a reflection of how popular you are, as opposed to people just buying tickets for the sake of it.
Yeah,
I ain't see that one.
He said you calling me sir too many times. I'm gonna block you now.
He told he want all the Jewish niggas to call him sir. So yes sir. Such and such a sir. So, yo, you sirring too much, nigga. I blocked you, man.
Cool. Again, I don't agree with Joe. Again, I think a lot of the Joe beef with Drake is stuff that we don't know about. So all of this kind of animosity and the way he's trying to antagonize Drake and their back and forths is based on shit that we have no idea about. Mostly, I'd imagine it's centered around some sort of girl or girls in general. That's probably why they're butthurt, or he's butthurt about it. But I still think his reaction is funny, considering that he's been going at... He's probably sent, 10 plus unresponded... 10 plus insults at Drake during this beef that Drake hasn't responded to. Then he throws one slight jab out there and Joe starts going crazy. You know? It's really weird. But hey, Joe's always gonna Joe. Joe's always gonna Joe. Talking about that, let's move on to some Kendrick shit. Big up this lady who's really popular here in the UK called Madam Joyce. I have to be honest, I tend to always scroll past her face when I see her on the timeline because I hate the way her mouth moves. You know, similar to like Flocko, Poetic Flocko from No Jumper. He's got this thing where his mouth, like he does that thing like with his mouth. It fucking pisses me off. I don't know what it is about mouths, but the way his mouth moves, the way her mouth moves, I just can't listen to what they have to say. But when I do hear what she has to say, it's always super stupid. Like, she's incredibly dumb. But I have to defend her in this regard because I feel like a lot of what she said was largely true, but she got some details wrong based on her review of Kendrick Lamar's performance at the NFL Super Bowl halftime show. So this is Madam Joyce, a clip taken from the Shade Borough where she rips into Kendrick Lamar's performance and doesn't really call it, basically says it's an okay performance. Let's hear Madam Joyce, what she has to say about Kendrick Lamar's Super Bowl halftime performance.
Kendrick, I love the fact that being a hater can end up being a success. But this performance, I just thought it was really mediocre for me. Maybe because I'm not a hardcore Kendrick fan. There was a lot of the songs that I didn't know. I knew some of the mainstream ones. Like when SZA came, I was like, yes, twin. The rest of them, I don't know. I thought the visuals was amazing. We had Samuel Jackson come on as Uncle Tom, and then obviously the dancers came and the American flag, and then obviously he performed They're Not Like Us.
Uncle
I just
Tom.
thought it was an okay performance. There are a lot
Tom.
of people on the internet who are like, oh my God, you just didn't understand. One thing I cannot stand is fake deepness. I come to watch the Super Bowl to watch a performance. I didn't come to think. I don't want to feel like I'm reading a book. So when I'm seeing, oh, but you did not understand the allegoric significance
so
of when the dancers were wearing blue, and the blue means
so
it signifies the sadness of the American state. Like, I just want to dance. I don't want to watch a performance and then have to read a book to understand what the performance was about. Okay. Now
you don't have to read a book to understand it though, do you? It's fairly self-evident. It's very self-explanatory what that performance about. It's really, really self-explanatory what that performance was all about, right? It's playing the American game, right? The whole PlayStation thing. Samuel L. Jackson, by the way, not Samuel Jackson, Samuel L. Jackson, playing the role of Uncle Sam, not Uncle Tom. Uncle Tom, I think she's getting the roles mixed up there with Samuel L. Jackson, but yeah, I think it was very self-explanatory what he was trying to get at, and I think he got his message across there. But I do think she's got some points when she talks about maybe the performance not being full of hits. But I think the saying that the performance was mediocre because you didn't understand it or because it was making you think is crazy. Because Kendrick always makes music that makes you think. That's why people like him, because he's an artist of substance. He always has a message, right? So it seems like you're purposely not listening to him because he makes you think. Which says more about you than him, really, innit? Like, an artist makes me think too much. I just want to dance. But can't you have like one artist in your library? Everyone should have one artist at least, semi-conscious, worldly and whatever, who's able to kind of make you think, who's able to maybe make you consider things, make you ponder things, right? Maybe make you meditate. Maybe for me it's Black Thought. Maybe Black Thought is my guy for that sort of shit. But it's funny how she doesn't have anybody that does that for her. Everything's about vibes, right? But yeah, I just love how loud and wrong she is. That's the thing I love about her. How loud and wrong she is in it. But I do think what she said about the performance not having enough hit records was probably accurate. I was actually surprised. I'm not going to lie. I was generally surprised that he went with a GNX performance. I was surprised he went that way. To be fair, it's kind of brave if you think about it. It is kind of brave that Kendrick decided not to go on that stage and do his hits, because if he did his hit records, I think the reception to the performance at the halftime show is much different. I personally didn't think it was that great, but I also loved the fact that he went on that stage and performed mainly a new album that a lot of people probably outside of hip hop haven't listened to. Really good album, by the way. I also love the fact that he was performing on that stage with no backing track. Yes, he was performing on that stage with zero backing track. You could hear his breaths. I love the fact that he had all those dancers on the stage as well, who added another dynamic to the performance. I loved how it was set up to look like a football field with the controller buttons on the side. I loved how all the dancers were color coordinated. I thought that was fucking sick. I loved how they had the car from the cover of the GNX album on the stage as well as he's performing. His breath control was out of this world. The fact that he doesn't really dance that much anyway, but he was able to join in with the choreography was pretty fucking sick. My favorite bit of the entire performance, because I actually forgot it, I'm not gonna lie, and I think this is something that hopefully isn't too controversial, but I honestly think Euphoria is a better diss record and a better tune than They Not Like Us. Euphoria is better than They Not Like Us. When Euphoria came on during this set, I was bopping my head. I was like, oh shit, I forgot how hard this fucking tune is. Like, Kendrick absolutely slid all over that fucking record. Euphoria is a fucking bop. Bop. Maybe it's a beat, maybe it's the way he rides it, but I swear to God, that shit slaps way more than They Don't Like Us. I find They Don't Like Us really annoying now because I've heard it way too much. Maybe if I give it a break, or maybe if the society at large gives it a break, it might refresh the tune a bit. But when Euphoria came on during the set, yo, I was shaking my non-existent dreads, sitting down here on my laptop, absolutely loving every bit of it. But honestly, this is my favorite bit. This bit where they had all the dancers kind of color coordinated to match the American flag, fucking sick. Such a clever, simple thing to do that worked really fucking well. I really did enjoy that. I thought the scissor bit as well was really cool. You could tell the crowd reacted really well to her, which is definitely a sign that SZA's becoming like a legit pop star. She's already a big star anyway, but I didn't really know until I saw the performance. Like, oh shit, people really fucking love SZA, innit? She got genuine, like, a break, applause. People really fucking loved her. That was fucking sick to see. Who knows? Maybe SZA gets to do the halftime show next year. You never fucking know. But she fucking killed it. The performance was fucking great. But the only thing I don't like about it, I have to be honest, what I liked about it is the bravery of doing GNX. But a part of me thinks he should have probably went with the hit records. Because he already did the kind of I'm dancing on Drake's grave kind of pop out thing at the pop out show, right? Where he played Not Like Us 5 times, which is a great moment. I don't think he needed to make this performance mostly a Drake thing, because there was a running theme throughout the performance about, is he gonna do that song? Is he gonna do it? Like a little thing that was quite cool, right? In terms of a play. But it felt like a lot of it was centered around Drake. The Serena thing, him looking at the camera directly and saying, hey Drake, zooming in his face and shit. There was a little bit too much focus on Drake for me personally. I think he probably should have gone with a set that contained his hits, like DNA, Alright, and whatever else, records that he has that are some of the best tracks. Actually, let me check my Apple Music. What are some of his best songs? Because on Apple Music, it's got a feature that shows you the top songs of an artist. What are his top songs via Apple Music? Apple Music says his top songs are Not Like Us. Okay, let's erase the GNX stuff then. So stuff that's not on GNX. So the non-GNX tracks that are featured on here, let's say Not Like Us, All Stars from Black Panther, 30 for 30 from the SZA album, Humble, Money Trees featuring J-Rock, Swimming Pools, Goosebumps, Like That. But yeah, like if he performed the Like That record here, I think he would have killed in that NFL stadium. What else is here? King Kunta would have fucking destroyed. So I think I get why they did it. Using that moment to promote an album was very brave of them and probably worked in their favor, because some people are probably going to check out GNX album now, especially, and it's going to serve as a good precursor to the toys going on with SZA, right? People are going to be able, because maybe he'll do all that kind of greatest hit stuff during his tour. But I think for this particular setting, it would have worked better. And you could tell, even though we found out later via Kai Cenat, you could tell that the people in the crowd weren't responding as enthusiastic as they probably should have. Based on the clips I saw, people in the audience and shit, people were just kind of sitting there, not really paying attention, or not really moving and bopping. But it's a really strange thing anyway, to be fair. I don't think it's a Kendrick thing. It's a really strange thing, the Super Bowl halftime performance. Because all the people in that stadium are there to watch football. They're not there to watch a performance. They don't give a fuck. And I think if it was me, and I was in a stadium watching the FA Cup final, Champions League final, and some person came on the center of the field and started performing, I'd probably be on my phone too. I don't give a fuck. I need to watch my team play. or to watch this game. I don't care about your performance. So it's a weird place to get the attention of everyone because everybody's kind of distracted. They're getting some extra drinks. They're going to get food. They talk to people on the phone. So he did a good job for what it was, but you could tell that the applause and some of the noise wasn't real because I saw the images prior from people who are actually in the stadium and people were dead as fuck in there. But again, I don't think it was his fault. Another thing that I didn't like about the performance was the outfit. I fucking absolutely hated the outfit. Hated it. Especially the jeans. The jeans I hated more so because of Pharrell. Pharrell's made me hate bootcut jeans. Pharrell's made me hate flare jeans. And I own some. I own some jeans where I've got some skinny jeans that I've kind of split at the bottom to help them kind of cover some of my boots. I've got like New Rock boots and Dr. Martens and shit. So I've purposely split them and added a bit of material to kind of make them a bit easier to kind of pull over my boots. But I think a lot of the jeans I have aren't as skinny on the thigh. So they kind of look more like straight cut jeans with a little bit of a flat at the bottom. But I think Pharrell's aggressive skinny jeans, boot cut thing really fucking pisses me off. And I hate how he wears them, especially during this Louis Vuitton era. So I think because of Pharrell, I hate these jeans. But they're really tight anyway on fucking Kendrick. Look at how fucking round they make his bum look. They are super tight. They really fit him well, but they're incredibly tight. And everybody on the timeline was saying, oh, they're Celine. I don't give a fuck. They look horrible. With the outfit, especially with the shoes he's wearing, it looks like he's wearing Lonsdale trainers. He's not. He's wearing some cool Nike Diamond Turfs. But because of how the style of the jeans sit on him, it looks like he's wearing Lonsdale trainers. It looks like he's got this fit straight out of fucking Sports Direct. I fucking hate it. He also looked way too hot. He looked like he was sweating buckets. I personally wouldn't have worn this big heavy leather jacket or varsity. Very nice, designed custom by Martin Rose. But maybe I would have worn it with a wife beater or no shirt at all, or a white shirt to help break it up, or I would have taken off the hat. But he looked very stuffy, especially with the leather gloves and shit. He looked very, very, very stuffy. I didn't fucking love it at all. I thought the outfit was horrendous. It actually pissed me off. Not gonna lie. His outfit actually annoyed me, and kind of distracted me from the fun of the actual performance. So the outfit I would have changed, little things, maybe some normal jeans, straight cut jeans, maybe some shorts to match up with, or maybe some fucking football pants. I don't know, with fucking pads in it. Whatever you want to do, just not these fucking skinny Pharrell boot cut Celine jeans. Like, no, I'm sorry. I don't care how much they are. I don't care what collection they were debuted in. They are fucking horrendous. Like, absolutely fucking horrendous. Courtesy of Hedy Semaine page here, he said the following: Kendrick Lamar's Hedy Semaine flare jeans for Celine, Super Bowl 2025. So I guess maybe Hedy made these custom for him. In his spring 2020 collection for Celine, Hedy Semaine launched the skinny jeans in the late 90s at YSL, and Dior Homme introduced his first flare jean as a tribute to Serge Gainsborough. These jeans were showcased during the Celine fashion show June 23rd, 2019. Hedy Semaine's Serge flare jeans were succeeded by the Marco flare jeans, which he initially designed for women for the Bibliothèque Nationale show. However, Semaine's creations are inherently unisex, reflecting a design philosophy that transcends traditional gender boundaries. Kendrick Lamar's donned the Hedy Semaine flare jeans for his Celine during his performance at Super Bowl 2025 halftime show, highlighting the enduring influence of Semaine's designs, which is pretty cool, to be fair. Also, maybe this is a little him saying, hey, I'm a sick designer, watch what I'm going to do at Gucci type of thing. But I don't care, even though I love Hedy, I don't fucking care. The jeans are fucking awful, and they look horrendous on Kendrick Lamar, and they made the performance even worse to fucking watch and listen to. I fucking hated everything about it. But the stage design, what they did was fairly cool. This is a quote here taken from Wired, courtesy of NFL Podcast. It says each performance space was shaped like a button on a PlayStation style controller. The performance intended to portray Lamar's life as a video game. The concept came from Lamar himself. I think the video game theme was symbolic, which is his way to reach young people. You know, maybe it was, maybe it wasn't. I just didn't think it was that great, and I think it would have been much improved, way better if he probably did the greatest hits and try and seed it as that, a medley of all his greatest hits, and absolutely killed it and left an impression with people, or introduce himself to the audience. Performing GNX on there, making it all about Kendrick, making it all about Drake was a little bit of a misstep in my opinion. But again, I could be wrong. Somebody that isn't wrong, or somebody that's always fucking whining and bitching, is Ebro from Hot 97. Ebro and Paul Rosenberg have been, along with Joe, have been going out their way to really, really try and stick the knife in on Drake, which I think is really weird because you can be a Kendrick fan and not like Drake and not want to see one person lose everything, right? It's not that deep, really. Yes, maybe some people were incorrect, myself included, in thinking that Drake had any chance with going, bar for bar, rap for rap with Kendrick. Kendrick, in my opinion, in this particular battle, I think he reminded a lot of people, myself included, of just how much of a beast he is when it comes to just rapping. Forget the music shit, which he done really well at, by the way. I think he proved it with Not Like Us. They can make hit records too. But the one thing he really reminded people was just how elite, how god tier he is when it comes to rapping. He's untouchable, really. Which is why people kind of stay away from him and call him the boogeyman. Because he really, really is scary when it comes to putting those raps together. But I think you're allowed to love Kendrick, and also you're allowed to not want to see Drake die or something, right? It's not that deep, really. It's not really that deep ever. But for some people it is, and the battle between Drake and Kendrick was more of a reflection between the fake and the real and all this sort of nonsense. I don't know. People just projecting way too much onto this beef. And two of the main people who are guilty of this type of level of projection was Paul Rosenberg and Ebro Hot 97. Two people who have solely been the reason why I stopped listening to all type of radio station shows anyway. I don't listen to Breakfast Club or Hot 97 anymore because of just how annoying the hosts are, especially Ebro and Paul. I think I've completely stopped listening to Hot 97 because of them two, especially Ebro. Ebro is fucking insufferable. It's actually surprising that he's got that job at Apple, considering how horrible his music taste is and considering how lame his music opinions are. But this is Ebro talking about people who wanted to hear Kendrick perform his hit records and basically defending Kendrick's performance at the Super Bowl halftime show. Let's hear what Ebro has to say about Kendrick's, lukewarm performance at Super Bowl halftime show. Because I feel like some people did enjoy it, but some people like myself thought maybe it would be better if he did perform his hits. I get why he did it. I salute the bravery to go on that stage and perform GNX, which is a very niche album. It's not even his best album in his catalog, not even close. But to perform that recent album on that stage is a very brave, but I feel like he should on his hit records. Let's hear Ebro defend Kendrick and take an opportunity to smack and kick Drake fans.
And you say, Ebro, why do you say that? That's what the Super Bowl is for. That's what people get out there and do. They get up there and they play everyone's favorite songs. That's the job. Well, I've never known Kendrick Lamar to get up in front of people and just do what they expect. It's never happened. True. When did that happen? At what concert? At what award show? Where? Show me.
I think it dawned on me yesterday. It was like he literally now has made it. He's never compromised at any point.
Never.
Now,
whenever I see Paul Rosenberg, I think about Academics. Academics made this guy cry. I think Academics might have been responsible for Paul Rosenberg's divorce, you know. These guys are ultra lame, and now he's out here putting beard dye in his fucking beard and talking, pontificating about hip hop. Like, shut the fuck up, man. God, these people are insufferable.
In his lack of compromising, he's become the biggest he's ever been, by far surpassing any expectation he ever even had. Why would he compromise now?
Well, and by the way, remember the Super Bowl, they invite you. It's not like there's a petition to like get selected or...
Unless you're Lil Wayne. Sorry, hit the button one more time. I'm sorry.
I think, you know what, it surprised me because I forgot, because I watched the whole thing, the Super Bowl performance, but I also watched a little bit of the match, or the game, sorry, against the Chiefs and the Eagles. And I was I don't know why, I forgot how important that game was, you know? How many people watched that game? How many normal people who aren't really probably into that type of music would watch it? And with Jay-Z being in charge of being in charge of selecting who performs halftime show now, I think it's like a 5-year deal he's got there. It's probably important for people in hip hop especially to maybe show out and to leave a good impression so that whoever takes over next time might also consider hip hop acts going forward. Because I think every other non-hip hop act person who's performed on that stage has done a medley of their greatest hits, because you only get like 12 minutes or something. It's not long. I think it's 12 minutes or 15 minutes even, right? Yeah, between the halftime basically, to perform. So it would make sense if you're performing to a normie audience to perform your hit records so that they can understand or get introduced to who you are. Now, if you decide not to do that, fair play, do what you want to do, but you have to then just hit it. You have to kind of smash it out of the park. And I don't think he did smash it out of the park. And it might have been because of the records that were on GNX, because even if you're an ardent Kendrick fan, you can't say that GNX is his best album. It isn't. It's a good album, especially in the midst of the beef. Like, I think it was actually incredible. He put out the album and someone said, I forgot who said it. Maybe it was Pan or somebody said he actually made that album in like a week or something. Like a week or a month or something super short. And he also didn't put Not Like Us on there. It's an album full of completely new hits. No Not Like Us, no Euphoria, completely new tracks. You have to give the guy credit for doing that in the midst of a fucking battle. That's really fucking good that he's able to accomplish that, have so much material to put out there. We thought, you know what, let's just put a little album out before we do the tour. Because allegedly there's another album coming out too. That's what people are saying. There's another album dropping before the tour gets announced. So that's a lot of music he's putting out before a tour even gets going on the first day. So, you know, yes, they invite you, but because they invite you doesn't mean you can do what you want. On that stage, you know, with normies watching, you're probably better off doing your greatest hits. But, you know, who knows?
Wow. Why would you do that, man? What's wrong with you, bro? Come on, man. Come on, man. Why are you doing this? But, yeah, no, y'all invited me. I'm going to show up and do me.
Now, do you think the NFL considered in any way, like, the idea that being involved in the Drake thing, like, if God forbid somehow something went left after this point, they could somehow be liable?
Oh, shut up, you dork. Your big fashion roadman. I'm a fan of Kendrick and Drake, but Drake has made himself look bad the whole way through the beef. He was happy to laugh at Meek, but can't handle the same heat. No, I've said before, like, that's the one thing that has upset me a little bit. I get why he's did it, but it has. The lawsuit I hate. Optics wise, even if it's not a lawsuit that's aimed directly at Kendrick, it's aimed at the label and the Spotify and whatever else it may be. It looks like sour grapes. It looks like a sore loser, and it looks like you're being a Karen, just because of the timing and the optics. It's impossible not to see that. It looks bad, even though there's maybe a greater play going on, and it's outside of my tax bracket, and it involves a lot of money and all this malarkey. Because if what he's saying is true, and that he feels that the record label went out of their way to basically put a battery in Kendrick's back to get him the fuck out of here, so they wouldn't have to pay him the money that he feels like he deserves based on the number of streams that he gets, then I get why he's doing it. Go get your money. But I just feel like the lawsuit is such in bad timing. And I also don't like how he waved the white flag. He kept goading Kendrick to reply. Drop. Kendrick drops, and then Drake says, oh, this ain't cool anymore. This is lame. I'm going home now. I'm not playing anymore. Nah, man, engage. I want to see more records. I want to see more stuff come out, because I felt like Drake pushed. I feel like Kendrick pushed Drake to put some of his best records out, especially rap records. I think he put out some of his best rap records in the midst of that, 99v1 beef that's happening, that was instigated by fucking Kendrick on that fucking Future Metro Boomin track. I would have wanted to see more. So he did handle it poorly. Of course he handled it poorly. But I also think there's a lack of fairness in the way people are assessing Kendrick's performance, because it was a bit of a letdown. Maybe, again, it's not his fault, because I think in culture in general, most things are letdowns. Most movies are letdowns. Most series are letdowns. Most things aren't as good as we hoped they would be. So maybe it's just a continuation of that. But let's be honest, the performance was kind of boring, man. It really was kind of boring. It was only 12 minutes long. I'm sure some of you haven't even watched the whole thing through. I have, twice. Most people haven't watched the whole thing through, probably. You've probably just seen clips, and it was kind of boring. So I wish people would be more fair about it, but because people hate Drake so much, I guess, or maybe they love Kendrick so much, they're unwilling to just call a spade and say, yes, Drake lost the battle horribly. Yes, he hasn't dealt with it the best. Yes, maybe he's deserving of some of the vitriol that's come against him. Yes. But was that performance the best performance you've seen of Kendrick's? Be honest. And some people have seen him. I've seen him perform at Primavera Sound. And I've got to be honest. Him performing at, was it Primavera Sound when I saw him? I think it was pretty very sound. He was much better there than I saw this. And again, it's a festival performance. I get it, but that performance at the halftime show wasn't that good. It really wasn't. Let's be honest. It really wasn't that good. And most of it was because he performed an album that many people hadn't really heard, I don't think, outside of ardent fans of hip-hop or people that follow the beef. And that performance could have been improved tenfold if he just went on there and performed the medley of his greatest hits, because he's got hit records. I read them out already. He's got fucking hit records that he could have performed on there. I read it out here. All the Stars, 30 for 30, Humble, Money Trees, Swimming Pool, Bitch, Don't Kill My Vibe, King Kunta. He's got hit records there. DNA he performed. Love he could perform. Loyalty with Rihanna. Mad City with MCI. Pride. You know, he's got hit records he could have performed. Poetic Justice. Even Poetic Justice he could have dropped. That could have been hilarious with Drake. So it's unfortunate it didn't happen. But hey, what can you do?
I don't know the answer to that, but what I do know is that Rock Nation produces the halftime show. So that's the agreement. From what I understand, once they select the person, it's what it is. And so I don't see why, you know, they would be liable for something that is already out in public. It's not like they premiered the song at the Super Bowl. It's not like they're saying that they endorsed Kendrick's messaging. It's not like they're saying that they, you know, I think that lawsuit is so fraudulent, it's crazy.
But are you talking about lawsuits, Rosenberg, or are you talking about other stuff?
No, I'm talking about like. Oh, no. I'm talking about if something, I don't know, man.
Right.
Like,
he said liable, so that's lawsuit.
In that case, I mean lawsuit. But I'm saying if God forbid, like this was the moment that was so embarrassing for Drake that it sent him to some bad sort of spin, right? Would that fall back on all the people that were involved in?
Well, I got news for you. If they try that, meanwhile, Drake, at your shows, you're changing lyrics to songs and saying, y'all couldn't kill me, I didn't die. And also walking around with bullet holes in your sweatshirt with smoke coming out the back. So
he said beef is live. I never died.
Beef is live. He says beef is live. I'm not dead. They couldn't kill me.
Yeah.
So he's still leaning in. So at what point is it now? Like, what are we doing here? Like you.
He's so mad. I don't get the emotion behind it. I really don't. I get why Kendrick doesn't hate Drake. We heard it. We know why Kendrick hates Drake. He hates everything about him. He hates the way he dresses, hates the way he walks, hates the way he speaks. Kendrick's been very forthright and clear why he hates Drake. It's weird how people are absorbing Kendrick's hate for Drake as their own. Like, he's really mad. It's like, why are you so mad? Like, why do you seem so riled up? Why are you frowning?
You don't want this to go away either, bro.
No, this is up. How they say up and it's stuck?
It's up and it's stuck. And by the way, most people
say it, we'll do it.
most people I know that are anywhere near any of this want it to be over.
Well,
he said game over himself, right?
Well, see that it gets weird.
Hit the button.
Yeah, I guess hit the button because
who said game over?
You can't dictate when
Lamar.
you can't dictate when the game is over.
Congratulations. At the end of his performance.
Nah, you can't. Do
that. It said game over in.
Oh yeah. No, I thought.
Yeah,
I saw that. I saw it.
I don't know if that. Listen, saying game over. If you're like, hey, I think it's over, man. In fact, I'm going to write game over in drones. That doesn't mean it's over.
I don't. Was that? No, I think that was the seats were lighting up. I think it was lighting on the seats.
All I know is I saw the lights.
Well, I will say this. I don't even think that performance was about Drake. Drake is just a proxy. I think that.
Oh, come on, man. That wasn't about Drake. The whole fucking running theme was about if he's going to play the fucking record or not. He looks at the camera and says, hey, Drake, smiling, which I think was really hard, by the way. I think that was a really hard moment. When he looked at the camera and said, hey, Drake, with that wry smile. That was fucking sick. Because that's something Drake would... If Drake would have won, he would have done that as well. And maybe worse. So I thought that was really sick. But saying that performance wasn't about Drake is hilarious when he got the fucking gig because of the beef with Drake. Because he won unanimously. That's why he got the fucking halftime show. As a great way to encapsulate a great year, a great end to the whole thing. Come on, man. Come on.
That's what people are really getting screwed up since it's
it was more about America. It was definitely more about America and the view of the right and white America towards black America.
They're being so disingenuous. Yes, it also was about that, but it can be also about Drake. Can it all be the same thing? Can it be about more than one thing? Is that possible, guys? Oh, God almighty. These people, man.
Than it was about Drake. It was more of that. It was literally called, he said, Sam Jack says at the beginning, welcome to the great American game. The game was America.
Both things can be true in real life.
Oh, no, he took his shots.
No, I'm not saying it. I'm not saying listen.
It's a double entendre all day.
It has more than one meaning for sure.
Thank you.
But
Thank you,
once again, going back to the whole thing, did it get personal? Yes. Was it specifically between Kendrick and Drake? Yes. Drake is not that important.
Imagine dedicating a whole section to the Kendrick performance, but then mentioning Drake and then saying it's not that important. Honestly, I wish I could care this much of these people. I wish I could internalize celebrities' beefs and problems with each other as my own. Like, he's acting as if Kendrick is his brother. Like, it's not that deep, bro, man. Relax. Like, just enjoy the tunes. Enjoy the performances, man. God damn.
Kendrick, the reason Drake's in this is because he is a sickness in the game.
Oh, my God. So Drake's a sickness. Not the record labels that are exploiting artists. Not the record contracts that are fucking putting artists in never-ending debt. Not the violence, right? None of that, right? Not the fucking payola system on radio stations. Not the ghost artists on streaming platforms. None of those are the sickness. It's one person who's very popular. That's it in Drake. One person who's very popular. Maybe what else could you call him? Soft, light skin, R&B. What else does he do wrong? One person is the sickness. But all those other things that really affect people, those aren't a sickness. There was a clip that went viral just the other day of Cameron on his show, Talk with Flea, where he admits the fucking mixtape, the collab mixtape between Lil Wayne and Jules Santana that was meant to have dropped those years ago, didn't drop because of UMG. UMG refused to drop the album because they were asking for crazy splits. I think they were asking for like 95% of the splits, and then the other 5 would go to Def Jam. Obviously, Def Jam wouldn't agree to it, so the album never came out. So a lot of great music has never seen the light of day because of politics in the record industry. Politics is ruining business, ruining the listening experience for fans. So we lose out on a legendary mixtape that would have come out during the peak era of Jewels, the peak era of fucking Lil Wayne. We could have heard that joint album, but we didn't hear it because UMG wanted too much fucking splits, wanted too much of the royalties. But Drake is a sickness. Fuck out of here, man.
It could have been any artist. It's what Drake represents. We've been saying this for months. People love Drake.
Because music is
They
good.
love his music.
Yeah, and
we love his music. He's beloved.
Lies, by the
He's
way.
not willing to go rip his soul from the bottom and do ayahuasca and look himself in the mirror as Kendrick had prescribed to him. On what song?
Come on, man. Come on, man. It's just fucking music, bro. Honestly, it really is. How do you have any idea that what Kendrick is saying is more real than what Drake is saying? How do you know that one person is telling the truth and one person isn't? How do you know one person has done the internal work to address their demons, to whatever it may be, to exorcise some fucking demons, whatever it may be? How do you even know these things to be true? What, because he said it in an earnest way on a record? You believed it to be fact? Huh?
Was that Euphoria? No.
Seems like it's about Drake, but continue.
No, but it's about what the game does to someone who's trying to dominate it.
Right.
That's the moral of the story. There are a lot of artists have been through what Drake's going through.
Not too many. It's his uncharted territory.
No, see, once again, you guys are missing the point.
No, we're not.
Yes, you are. Somebody who's chart chasing, just trying to dominate the game and losing themselves. Why?
How does he know this, by the way? How does he know that Drake is trying to chart chase and dominate the game? Isn't he just very popular and trying to get what he deserves money-wise? Is he going about it the right way? I don't think so. Especially in the midst of the beef. The suing thing was horrible. The lawsuit is horrible. But it seems to me he just wants to get as much money as he can while he's the biggest thing on planet Earth. Because why not? That's it, basically. If they gave him 400 million at one time, now he wants 500 million or more. I get it. Go get your money. But I don't understand why this is an indictment on him. Everyone, there's always going to be one or two people at the top. He just happens to be one of them. Maybe Kendrick can be that person to replace him. Who knows? But acting as if like one person is corrupted, one person is sold out, when Kendrick has records with fucking, what is it? Coldplay and shit, and Taylor Swift. It's like, come on, man. Let's be real.
They're trying to chase the game. You guys are just focused on the battle. You're not focused on the actual sickness.
Okay, tell us,
never been reached in hip hop before either.
Tell us, Ebro.
Right, because nobody's ever had this level of sickness before, where they have.
You mean success?
They're trying to be an art. You're trying to dominate R&B. You're trying to dominate hip hop.
What's wrong with
You're
that?
trying to dominate pop.
What's wrong with that?
You're trying to have people write your records.
What's wrong
You're
with
trying
that?
to do all of these things simultaneous. And oh, by the way, you're also behind the scenes doing people dirty. Like
is he really doing people dirty though? Really, or is this? Because I still haven't heard one person, except for Kendrick, really detail why they don't like him. Kendrick's been the only person from minute one who's told us exactly, in precise detail, why he doesn't like Drake. He said it in fucking Euphoria, one of my favorite bits on the record. He says it exactly why he doesn't like him. No one else has said that. Everyone else, it seems like they don't like him because Drake may or may not have fucked their girl. In hip hop, it seems like everybody in that industry fucks each other's girl. They all kind of go out with the same group of girls anyway. So if that's the reason why you want to take him out, you know, seems a bit weak. But so far, we've not heard anybody say that he gave them a bad deal, he stole money, he stole records. Like, what is the reason why all this hate is happening in the first place? It feels like, to me, everybody that attacked him mostly was because they wanted to be number one also, which makes sense. Or they were fed up of him being number one, which also makes sense. But to act like it's something more than that when it isn't is hilarious.
he's trying, like it hasn't happened at this level before. You're right.
But no, hold on. Are you Dave Free, bro? That's also, let's be realistic. He's also the most successful mainstream rapper of all time.
Exactly.
Yeah, and yes, right. And yes.
You can't leave that part and all the things
no,
you
I just said that.
Right.
I just said that.
And Kendrick is too.
Kendrick is
but
what?
They're just
a very successful. Like he's not. Kendrick is not a success. Rosenberg.
Very successful, but not. He's not a pop star the way.
No.
Drake
But he is. Kendrick is up there, bro. Like, and that's another thing.
He is.
People are not giving Kendrick his props. Like, this is kind of in a way where people.
Anyway, let's leave it there. I think Kendrick could get his props if he just performs. Now there's a moment. Now let's see what happens after. Let's see how the tour goes. Let's see if another album drops, which they said another album is going to drop before the tour. So let's see how that happens. Let's see how that goes. And I think that will dictate where Kendrick is, because to be number one anyway, you can't take 5-year breaks, right? As Kendrick has done. I think Kendrick has enjoyed a good career. He's kind of had like a Frank Ocean career where he gets to drop what he wants, he gets to make the music that he wants, and his fans largely stay engaged. But now that he's did a little dance with Drake, he kind of, he beat him in the war. He beat him in the battle, sorry. Maybe he didn't win over a war, but it doesn't matter. I think now that he's engaged Drake and he's kind of reminded people of his greatness, he now has to deliver and keep that momentum going. You can't just disappear if you're going to be number one. You don't get that. I think to be number one and to be the top person, you have to be ever present the way Drake was, which is probably the reason why people started to stop not liking him. Maybe the reason why people started to stop liking Drake was because you couldn't get away from him. It was like that era when Beyonce and Rihanna were running things. They have to go away for you to miss them. So Kendrick, if he wants to be number one, will have to realize that the more you keep putting out music, the more you're present, the likely is that you're going to drop a dud, the likelihood is that you're going to annoy people. But you have to be around to be seen as number one. You can't just go away, you know? But let's see how it works out. Maybe he can do it. Maybe he can be the first person to kind of do the going away thing, be mysterious, be in his own little bubble, and still be able to have people buy a lot of his shit and be a fan of his music. I'll see how it plays out. But I'm glad it's over now. I'm glad this is over. Hopefully, going forward, I doubt it because people just seem to be never obsessed with this sort of stuff, because I guess it maybe speaks to an overall change and shift in music. I don't know. But I just hope that now it's somewhat over and we get to move on a little bit, because God almighty, man, this beef has been fucking exhausting. Actually, the fans have made it kind of lame. I have to be honest. The fans are the ones that have made it lame. The stands are the ones that have made it lame. And I hope now we can kind of move forward. Both artists are going to be, Kendrick's going to be on tour soon with SZA. Drake's on tour now with in Australia. Party Next Door album's going to be dropping with him soon. So hopefully we will get to see these people in their own lanes doing their own thing, and we won't need to stand around and have these debates and arguments and shit, because it's tiring. If you're a Drake fan, you're going to be on his nuts all the time. If you're a Kendrick fan, you're going to think everything he does is fucking amazing. So, no one's going to sway anybody either side. So I hope going forward we can kind of leave it there. But is that likely? Probably not. Is that likely? Probably not. So, let's continue. I saw this really funny post on social, courtesy of Twitter actually, last month that I forgot to mention. It's about Iris Law. You know who Iris Law is? Yes, you know who Iris Law is. She is the daughter of famous actor Jude Law. And she's now a model in her own right. People think she looks really pretty and shit. I think she also dates Trent Alexander-Arnold, I think. Last time I saw her fucking dating Trent Alexander-Arnold. Not too sure if they're still together. But, she's around, she's doing her thing, blah, 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 blah. Well, she popped out at the Saint Laurent menswear show. And she was looking quite good, I thought, personally. She popped out in this really cool suit ensemble, double-breasted thing, oversized blazer, oversized pants. I thought looking really fucking good. It suited her, especially with her bald head, especially with the slits in her eyebrows, Tyler style, the big fucking bracelets, the tie, the shirt tucked into the trousers. Really fucking good look. Like, she looks amazing in this outfit, I think, personally. It suited her really fucking well. So big up Iris Law. Unfortunately for Iris Law, somebody saw this image of her and decided to quote tweet it with the following: "When I tell you this girl here is the nastiest bitch I've ever served in my life, ... And thus proceeded to basically empty the clip on Iris Law on how much of a piece of shit she was when she when she was at some restaurant this girl worked at. Fucking wild. But also, I want to use this time to defend Iris Law's ability to be a bitch. Defend her ability to be a bitch. Defend it a little bit here. So let's read it. This is courtesy of somebody called Madison. Madison Tay T _. Let's see what she said. "We hate a mean-spirited, doesn't pay her check, quote, do you know who my father asks, bitch." "We hate a mean-spirited, doesn't pay her check, quote, do you know who my father is, ass bitch. Let it be known, I served Rupert Murdoch, Paul Ryan, Steve Bannon, the Kushners, Jeff Bezos, etc. Basically all the evilest people in the world, and all of whom had better manners and were at least very pleasant. No, sorry, let me get it again. Were the very least more polite than this cunt." Jesus Christ. She is coming in hard on Iris Law. Like none of them started screaming and throwing a tantrum in the restaurant. Long story short, she didn't like our dessert selection and had a meltdown, refused to pay for the whole check, screamed about how her father wouldn't be happy about this, etc., etc., and claimed we should have figured out an alternative for her that she would like. Was mad that she was told no. Now that I'm thinking about it, the worst people I've ever served off the top of my head, I would probably think of more. 1, Iris Law. 2, redacted podcaster. Too many IRL connections to them. It's not Red Scare. These are guys. 3, Ivy Getty. And 4, Louisiana Jacobson. Some of the nicest people I've served in no particular order, off the top of my head: Jim Parsons, Troy Sivan, Diane Agon, Channing Tatum, Charlie XCX, Hoda Kotb, Malia Obama, Kirsten Dunst. Muted this ages ago, blah, 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 blah. So, the funny thing about this is that I've actually met Jude Law and his kids at Dr. Martens. I used to work there many years ago. And he is actually one of the nicest celebrities I've ever interacted with in a store. Because usually celebrities, when they come into a store, they're kind of demanding, they're kind of curt, and usually in a rush. So they're not the nicest, usually. I've in my experience, from working in Selfridges, working in Dr. Martens, working at Nike stores, Adidas stores, I've seen the odd person here and there. So I think, you know, retail stores in general, being in central London in general, it doesn't bring the worst out of you. And at the time when I was working at Dr. Martens, that store on Carnaby Street was the fucking, what's your thing called? Was the main store. I don't think it's the main store anymore. I think they've got a bigger store somewhere in central London. But that Carnaby Street one was the main store. So a lot of the best stuff went there. We had the most stock there. So, you know, people would usually be pointed in that direction if they wanted more sizes, if they wanted different styles. And it was just a good store anyway. So Jude Law came in one time, and I don't think it was with Iris Law. I think at that time she wasn't there. I think it was the boys. I think he's got 2 boys, I think. And they were really well behaved. They were really nice. The whole family was nice. He was super, super polite. Went out of his way to be very chill and calm and understanding, because it was very busy when he came. But obviously our manager made sure that we kind of, you know, attended him quickly because he was somebody of note. And yeah, he was really nice. Like, he surprised me how nice he was. Very short in real life, by the way, but extremely piercing eyes. Like, god damn it, that guy's beautiful. Like, no homo, god damn it, that man is beautiful in real life. His eyes are incredibly piercing blue. You could definitely get lost in them. So I get it for the women and the fellas out there. I get it. But a very nice person. So it is quite funny to see that his offspring, especially his daughter, has now turned into a, you know, Godzilla type bitch. Because this sounds really bad. To go into a restaurant and basically refuse to pay because what? They got your dessert wrong. Or because, what is it? She didn't like the dessert selection. And they refused to pay. That is crazy. I think it's one thing if you're a celebrity and you go to a restaurant and you don't get the service that you demand or that you expected, and you throw a tantrum so you can get the service that you think you deserve. That's one thing, right? Give me the service I deserve. Cool. I don't have any problem with that. Using a celebrity to kind of get what you need. But to refuse to pay, that I think is some bullshit. To refuse to pay, that is some bullshit. That kind of sounds like, remember that girl that I talked about in the podcast, that black girl that's like a soft life person who goes to restaurants and sits there and turns around like a fucking meerkat hoping some person will pay for a dinner? That's like something that girl would do. That's like a broke thing to do. And Iris Law isn't broke. She's got endorsements, I imagine. She's got sponsors. She's the fucking daughter of Jude Law. She's probably good for money. So the fact that she'd go to a restaurant and play those type of games is pretty shitty. I'm not going to lie. But when this story went viral on my side of social media, a lot of people didn't believe it. But to me, it sounded very believable, because why would somebody make up a random rumor about somebody like an Iris Law, who isn't the most, maybe in Gen Z kids, she's popular, but she's not the most well-known celebrity in the world. Yes, she's got a famous dad, but it's a bit of a niche celebrity. So to go out of your way to lie about someone like this, you're a bit of a loser. So I never doubted the validity of this story. But the moment I knew this story was legit was when Iris Law recorded a response to this via TikTok. And it starts like that. Look how it starts. Look at her smile. She did that shit. She did that shit. She's trying to look unbothered. She's trying to look like it's not a big deal. She's trying to look like it's a lie. But that face immediately told me that she did that shit. So this is Iris Law's response to that viral tweet of how she acted out in the restaurant and her trying to make sense of it all. Absolutely hilarious reply.
I don't have Twitter, so hopefully all of you people that don't believe this fan fiction story, it's literally fan fiction story, guys, come on. So someone's saying that I got up in the middle of a meal and didn't pay and screamed and said, do you know who I am? And because I didn't like the dessert menu, desserts, because that's kind of funny, but it's completely made up. It's too.
You know what? I rate it. I rate the defense. I rate the defense being it didn't happen. It's completely made up. It's a lie. I love that. I love dying on that hill of like, I don't know what this woman's talking about. I don't even eat dessert. Look at my fucking figure. Look at my cheekbones. Do you think y'all get these cheekbones from eating fucking eclairs? Do you think I get these cheekbones from eating apple pies? Of course not. Like, what the fuck she talking about? You know, I love the defense, but clearly she did that shit. You can tell because she's trying so hard to look unbothered. She's whispering really late at night. She's filling up a hot water bottle, minding her business, winding down the day. She's bothered. Acting not bothered is a sign of being bothered.
2 a.m. I've literally been having a meltdown about this because
there we go.
Now everyone thinks I'm horrible. But
by the way, I think people care way too much, especially girls like her. You're a Nepo baby. You should be a cunt. You're a Nepo baby. You should be a bitch. That's part of the deal. If you're not one, it's a bit boring. I don't want you to be nice. I want your dad to be nice. That's cool. Jude Law being nice is fucking amazing. Big up him. But you're meant to be a bitch. You're meant to be a cunt. That's the whole point. You're a Nepo baby. Why would you go out of your way to be kind when you could be an asshole and get away with it? Because you're a Nepo baby. Embrace it. This willingness or wanting to be a nice person when every fiber of your being despises everyone else around you, especially people that look like you that are working menial service industry jobs, you should look down on them. Because in your head, you should think you're better than them. You should. Because you're a Nepo baby. And we should laugh at how you act and point fingers at you. But you should be living your life unapologetically like a fucking supercharged turbo cunt. That's how you should be living your life. Not pretend to be a nice person. Because that's probably why she's in this situation. She probably can't wrangle and can't really come to terms with who she actually is. That's who you are, the person in the restaurant. That wasn't a freak moment. That wasn't you blacking out and going crazy. No, that's who you are. Embrace it and your life will be much better.
And I also feel like I'm going to go to sleep and wake up and more people are going to believe this. But I'm going to try and sleep. So please back me. Because I don't have Twitter. I have no power in this situation.
I don't have, get a Twitter and defend it. You're defending yourself now basically on Twitter. Because everyone's going to pull this and put it on Twitter. I don't have Twitter. I don't have Twitter. That doesn't mean anything. Can you defend yourself, please? Can you say why this is a lie? Can you explain why it didn't happen? Were you there in the restaurant? Do you have a doppelganger out there? Do you? Big up Femi? Come on, man.
Situation. Like someone's just made up a complete lie. And now it's going viral. It's not even like someone found out someone was cheating or like someone found out someone wasn't paying tax. Like someone finding out something bad that you did. Like
what? So so being a complete asshole to people who work in restaurants, to waiters, to front of house, servers, whatever, that's okay. But cheating is not okay. One is a big deal, one isn't a big deal. They're pretty big deals, right? Like, no one likes to be treated like shit. Doesn't matter if the person works at the fucking DMV. Doesn't matter if they work at, you know, a McDonald's. Treat people with respect wherever you go. Why wouldn't you do that? Why wouldn't you want to treat people the way you want to be treated? So acting as if it's not a big deal because they're restaurant staff is hilarious.
I literally didn't do this. And now everyone believes it.
I can tell she did that shit. She guilty as fuck. She guilty as fuck. But hey, it happened. It is what it is. Now everybody knows. And I also find it funny that how she thought she could get away with being an asshole to people in restaurants and no one would find out. That no one would leak it to the press or write something online. Maybe because she's such a niche celebrity. She's such maybe she thought that no one would really know, maybe. But if you're acting like this, you should have known that it would have got out sooner rather than later. And I wouldn't be surprised if you probably work in the industry, probably a lot of people have a lot of bad things to say about her. Because I bet you that restaurant thing isn't the first and last time she's acted like an asshole to people. She's probably done that a bunch of times to people. And it's probably a well-kept secret, a well-known thing amongst people who maybe know Nepo babies or young kids like her, that she's a bit of a dick. But she is adamant that it wasn't her. Or maybe she was just so mad that she actually doesn't remember what she did. She actually did black out. And she completely has disassociated herself from whatever happened in that restaurant. But that girl provided a very detailed account. And that girl, if I'm not mistaken, another member of staff that works there also confirmed the story. They said, yeah, it happened. I wasn't there, but I came the next day and everyone was talking about it. So what happened. It just is what it is. Embrace your dark energy. Embrace your cunt energy, Iris Law. Stop pretending to be a nice person because you're not. Clearly, you're a Nepo baby that's been handed everything on a silver platter. You've never probably had to work a day in your life. You're probably emotionally not even that well developed and shit. That's okay. The part of the fun is that you are a dick. We get to laugh and watch the freak show. And you get to live a life where you essentially get to live a life that most people don't ever get to live. Where you get to frolic around, jumping from country to country, fashion to fashion show, enjoying yourself. But that's going to come with some dickness. You're not going to be a nice person if your dad is Jude Law. That is not really likely. Let's be real. Let's be real. But again, what do I know? Absolutely nothing. Absolutely nada. Moving on. Let's talk a little bit about Sadiq Khan, the mayor of London's new Nightlife Taskforce, which I'm really happy about, to be honest. Obviously, most of you guys know I had a real big problem with the previous night czar, which was Amy Lammy, who recently stepped down, thank God for that, after a disastrous tenure, trying to essentially fight for nightlife here in London. But during her tenure, we had a record number of clubs closed, which wasn't all her fault during COVID, whatever else happened. But she wasn't the best at her job, clearly was stealing a living, and has thankfully now gone. And instead of Sadiq Khan replacing her with one person, he's now put together this Nightlife Task Force made up of people who represent the nightlife scene here in London to adequately, and I think realistically and properly, defend and fight for nightclubs here in London, and hopefully stop the never-ending closure of some of our best ones, and maybe lead to some newer ones opening. Who fucking knows? So it's courtesy of Resident Advisor. It says, Fabric co-founder Cameron Leslie, Pussy Palace founder Nadine Noor, big up Pussy Palace, one of the best parties here in London, Colour Factory founder Nathaniel Williams, and Colour Factory, again one of the best clubs here, are among the 11-person team. So already, 3 people who are legitimately better in that role than Amy Lammy ever was. 3 people who are legit as fuck, know what they're talking about, and can, hopefully, save the nightlife industry and clubs here in London. Let's continue. Mayor Sadiq Khan has unveiled members of London's first ever Nightlife Task Force. The 11-person team includes Fabric co-founder Cameron Leslie, who's chair of the group, Pussy Palace founder Nadine Noor, Colour Factory founder Nathaniel Williams, Daytimers founder Provat Raham, Nighttime Industry Association CEO Michael Kill, Music Venues Trust External Affairs Manager Sophie Brownlee, and DJ and radio host Lily London. The 12th member, Folds co-founder Seb Glover, decided against joining just before the group launched due to other commitments to Evening Standard reports. That's a shame, by the way. Big up Seb. He's actually a good dude. I think he also runs a Glove That Fits, and also obviously runs the popular club here in London called Fold. It's a shame he's not joining, but the people that they have already there are really good. Obviously got a lot of experience and know what the fuck they're talking about. So hopefully they'll be able to steady the tide of closures in London. It continues. The task force will spend the next 6 months assessing the challenges and opportunities facing nightlife in the UK capital and will provide recommendations on how to ensure the nighttime economy can thrive. Khan believes that the group's expertise and unparalleled knowledge garnered from years of working across a range of nighttime industries will ensure success. The rising cost of living, the operational costs, the shifts in consumer behavior, the staffing shortages and licensing issues have all been hitting businesses hard. I'm determined to do all I can to work alongside our nighttime industries. Leslie stressed that the task force cannot wave a magic wand, but hopes that we can put together something meaningful which all stakeholders and individuals who generally want to see London's nightlife vibrant, nighttime economy thrive and grow can then get behind it. Nor believes that the collaboration is key and plans to deliver meaningful change that reflects the vibrancy and diversity of London's nightlife. The London Task Force will operate in place of the Night Czar. Amy Lammy's was London's first Night Czar, stepped down from her position last October after 8 years. By the way, it's a really bad indictment on her, isn't it? What an unsuccessful tenure. 8 years of complete failure, so bad that Sadiq Khan was like, nah, I can't replace you with one person. I have to change this whole thing and put together a task force instead, which will probably be a better use of taxpayers' money, right? Instead of allocating those funds to one person, you split those funds across 6 people or whatever, and then you have it be like a freelance type of thing and not like a salaried role, which is way better. Way, way, way better. We'll continue to report on this story as it unfolds. Here's a list of the 11 members as you see they're listed. So again, for me, I think one of the main things that they probably should push for, if I had any kind of say in this, would be extended opening hours of clubs. Extending opening hours of clubs is super crucial. Insofar, I would say my compromise would be, if you can't extend the opening hours of most clubs, each area of London, north, east, south, and west, deserves at least one club that's open past 6 a.m., especially on the weekends. One club. So far in East we have Fold, but Fold's closed at 6. So I think it still needs a couple of hours, maybe 7 or maybe 8 or 7 in terms of closure time. But we need at least one of those clubs in each area of London. And I think if you have that, it would ease the traffic, ease some of the bottleneck, ease some of the busyness in different areas, because all the clubs that everyone wants to go to are either the ones in East or South. So you end up with everybody over there, and people aren't able to travel and club hop and whatever it may be. But I think every area in London deserves to have its version of Fold that can open past 6 a.m. I think as well, another important thing is we need more venues that are around the 100 to 500 to 100 to 700 capacity. I think we've got way too many clubs here already about to launch that are 2,000 capacity. We need more clubs that are in that sweet spot of 100 cap to 700 cap. Those are the clubs that where you kind of foster community, where you foster a scene, where you can introduce new artists, new DJs, blah, 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 blah. But I think when it hits 1,000, that's when you can't really do that. That's when you have to start hiring and booking DJ Mag top DJs, business techno DJs, shitty DJs in general, because those are the ones that sell the tickets. But if you have venues that are between 100 cap to 700 cap, you can take more chances. You can maybe start to have residency things. You can maybe start to allow young promoters opportunity to put on parties and take more risk with certain things and be a bit more experimental. Maybe have more free events. Those are really important because we don't have enough. And the ones that we do have are kind of more pubs than they are clubs. So we need way more venues between 100 and 700 capacity. We need more venues open after 6 a.m. And if we need especially at least one venue in each area of London that's open until 8. At least one. I'm not talking for loads, just one venue. That we deserve that. Especially considering how much nightlife contributes to the overall fucking GDP and economy of fucking London overall. Obviously nightlife encompasses the theatre and everything else in between. It's not just clubs, but I think clubs play a big role in that. If that's the case, reward the clubs that are doing it right. Reward the clubs that aren't really getting themselves in trouble. Reward the nightlife scene in general and allow more spaces to be open later. But again, what do I know? Another development on this, courtesy of RA, is part research, part support. London Nightlife Task Force Alice Hoffman Fuller, Corsica Studios former art director and head of operations, discusses her hopes for the initiative after yesterday's launch. This is her talking to RA, so big up this lady. What's her name again? Alice Hoffman Fuller. RA says, there have been murmurs about the task force for quite some time now. Is it nice to finally put some faces to the role? She says, well, firstly, I want to make sure the narrative about the task force is accurate. This is really a new thing. That's what makes it exciting. For me, I've built a lot of experience on how nightlife works operationally from my work at Corsica Studios, which again, another one of our best clubs here in London, especially in South, alongside with Venue, MOT, alongside with Phonox, really good clubs. But I think they would be much improved if they were able to stay open past 6 a.m. at least until 8, in my opinion. I think there's no reason why a nightclub in South London on the weekend can't be open, especially for one day. It doesn't have to be even Friday, just fucking Saturday night. It should be open until at least 8 a.m. on a Sunday. There's no reason why it can't be. One day in a fucking weekend. It shouldn't be that difficult to do that. But what do I know? This is really a new thing. That's what makes it exciting for me. I built a lot of experience on nightlife and how it works operationally from my work at Cortical Studios and how nightlife interacts with culture. I want to use some of this experience to help the sector in a broader sense. It's part research and part support. The task force will spend the next 6 months assessing the challenges, says RA, and opportunities around facing London. What would that look like in real terms? She says, consulting primarily, reaching out to venues and finding out what's working and what isn't from a business perspective. There's a big difference between the needs of grassroots music venues and clubs, for example. So we need to cultivate different approaches to meet the specific needs of those in the industry. By the way, this is basic. This is basic shit. Even I could have figured this out, and I'm not that smart. Even I could have figured out that this would be the best approach to this sort of issue. So what the fuck was Amy Lammy doing? If this is the basic approach to deal with these issues, is to talk directly with these clubs, big or small, and see what their pain points are and try to work out something with the government, meet people in the middle, local councils, licensing, blah, 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 blah. What the fuck was Amy Lammy doing? What the fuck was she doing for 8 years? God almighty. She stole a living, innit? Congrats to her, by the way, for securing a bag. I'm never gonna begrudge someone for securing a bag. But fucking hell, she stole a living, innit? She did fucking jack shit. If this is what they have to do, the bare minimum, the basics now, that means she didn't probably do it. Or she didn't do it sufficiently enough. Shit. But when it comes to clubs, it's quite obvious that the primary issue at the moment is overheads. The overheads are often a lot greater than the income being made. Oh, really? I didn't know that. The biggest issue for most clubs is overheads, not opening times. Huh. So are clubs intentionally hiring too many people? Or can they not function without those people? Because my thinking would be, if you allow the clubs to be open longer, it gives them more time to make more money. Because people will probably stay out longer, right? And drink more, you would imagine. But maybe if you open it longer, that also means you have to pay people longer. Maybe. I don't know. It continues. RA says, one thing I noticed about Nightlife Taskforce is that many of the members have big commercial stakes in the scene. Could this present a conflict of interest between short-term financial interests and the venues they're involved in? Nah, I don't think so. She says, I hope these people would be the ones thinking the most about long-term. Short-termism isn't really a thing for a venue. Exactly. I don't think so, because venues don't really think short-term anyway. Their very nature, they're already thinking 6 months to a year in advance. Most clubs. I'd imagine clubs like Folder are already booked all the way up until next year anyway. 2026. So, yeah, I don't think they have the ability to think short-term. It continues, what can the scene do to help Nightlife Taskforce achieve the goals? The big thing at the moment is keeping the optimism around this initiative. It doesn't take much for the media to jump on things and cause a pile-on, so I think we should approach this optimistically for a change. Everyone on Taskforce has benefit of interest, has the best interest in and want to try and make this work. I won't say though. I think they have to earn trust in that regard. I think regular people, myself included, should look at this with some skepticism. We shouldn't give the benefit of the doubt. They should show and prove. We had 8 years of disastrous lead with Amy Lammy. Some of us are burnt and don't expect much and are a bit black-pilled when it comes to this sort of stuff, myself included, or cynical. So I think they kind of probably need to earn our trust and go from there. Probably, I would say. But it's a good thing overall. It's good to see that Sadiq Khan has noticed the error of his ways, and instead of replacing Amy Lammy with another person who's going to earn a grossly overvalued salary and waste a bunch of time, better to get a task force together and do it that way. Again, it's maybe too many, chefs in the kitchen, but I think because they've all have stakes in the industry and they know what they're doing, I think most likely there'll be better results going forward. You would hope. You would hope so. But that's what's happening here, courtesy of RA. So big up Sadiq Khan for once. Big up Sadiq Khan for once. Talking about new venues, we got this disastrous news, courtesy of Mixmag. A new 2,000 capacity venue is opening up in South London Shopping Centre, Corner. I personally am annoyed by this because I feel like we don't need more 2,000 cap venues. I think what we need, like I said, is more 100 to 700 cap venues. These 2,000 venues are just big, empty, soulless venues that most, EDM shitty people are going to be playing at. And yeah, it's owned by the people behind Printworks and Drumshed. So I'm sure production-wise it's going to be fucking amazing. But we don't need more of these type of spaces. We need smaller ones. But for some reason in London, I'm not too sure if this is some sort of like payola thing. I don't know what's going on, but London seems to be okay approving these massive 2,000 cap venues, but they seem to be very quick to close the smaller ones. I'm not sure why. Maybe the reason why is because these bigger venues are in part like a collaboration with like property developers, like how Printworks was. Printworks basically was a temporary lease, and then the idea about Printworks was that you can operate in here, but then we're going to take it over and knock it down and turn it into flats. But it probably serves whoever the property developers are better to let Printworks set up in Printworks, because that will then make the area more well known. So then when the houses do go up for sale, they'll be more likely to all be taken up because people want to live in the same area or at the same location where the famous club was. So I think that's probably the reason why these spaces, 2,000 caps, gets approved or get permission to kind of go forward vis-a-vis the 700 ones, because they obviously benefit property developers and shit, which is obviously hilarious and awful and bad and the antithesis of gentrification. But let's continue. A new 2,000 cap music venue from the team behind Drumsheds and now the shuttered Printworks has been approved to open in Canada Water. The venue named Corner will take the space of the 1980 shopping centre on Surrey Quays, due to be knocked down in the next few years. As reported by The Standard, the Suffolk Council Planning Committee approved the plans for the new event space on a meeting on February 5th on Wednesday. Plans were submitted by property developers, as I said, British Land, who are partnering with Broadrock on a new venue. In a report published on November 2024, British Land said it hoped the space will be open as early as 2025 spring. Described as a new cultural hub with a space, the Corner will overlook Canada Dock, featuring collaborative workspaces and live music. They always have collaborative workspaces, isn't it? What's a collaborative workspace? A bench and Wi-Fi. What the fuck does that even mean? A collaborative workspace. What does that mean? Huh? What does that actually mean? Shitty Wi-Fi and a bench. Cool. Live music and food and beverage outlets. The space will also feature London's largest indoor urban vertical farm. That sounds horrendous. Where herbs and salad leaves were produced to use. And I don't want that. Sorry, I don't want that. Buy your fucking vegetables in plastic bags or tins. I don't want you fucking climbing a ladder and picking fucking vegetation off of some wall installation while I'm on my Wi-Fi trying to fucking update my fucking Twitter. No. Hot Dinners reports that the venue will collaborate with Curb. This sounds horrendous. So it's everything. It's going to be a co-working space. It's going to have food trucks. It's going to have a garden. Like, fuck off. This sounds so wanky. A food market chain, multiple spaces around London coming complete with all-day caf, composed of hyper-local sustainable farming. Buzzwords. Corner will offer mostly live jazz gigs as opposed to club nights due to internal music levels. A live jazz gigs, Fuck off. Due to traditional music levels. This sounds awful. This sounds so shit. Approved plans will allow Corner to open until 3 a.m. on Thursdays through Sundays, subject to... Oh my god. Richard said during the meeting last week they did not intend to regularly host late night events. Yeah, this sounds awful, by the way. This sounds like a waste of the space. I'd rather they build new affordable housing for people who don't have fucking houses, especially council houses and shit. People who are currently living in hotels, in fucking bed sits. Like maybe they deserve some homes instead of this shitty fucking, mini box park. This sounds horrendous. This sounds awful. I will not be going or attending. Fuck this place. And fuck Canada Water, to be completely honest as well. The area is fucking horrendous and terrible. But again, what do I know? Absolutely nada. Talking about something that I do know. Pacha Ibiza or Pacha Ibiza, confirms Blondish as club's first female headline resident DJ. That being a headline is hilarious, by the way. Pacha bragging that the first ever female headline resident DJ is Blondish of all people. She's pretty mediocre as a DJ and a bit of a horrible person. She's the #1 playgrade DJ in the world. I still remember those days, bro, when people like her, one of the probably well-known DJs out there, probably makes a tons of cash per gigs, was out here playing playgraves in third world countries because most of these places didn't have the same restrictions that we had in the quote-unquote first world. And she was out here fucking playing these fucking horrendous gigs, essentially at the peak of COVID, probably spreading the disease to untold amount of people, and essentially just being a scourge on humanity, not wanting to take a break, even though you earn probably 100 grand per fucking gig or maybe less, something high. Couldn't take 6 months off, couldn't take a year off, couldn't pause a little bit, and now you're being rewarded with something like this. It just goes to show. It just goes to show that the rich get richer, the assholes keep making the money, and the little man, the small guy down below, has to fight for fucking scraps. Because Blondish is a shit DJ anyway, and it's funny that she is the first female DJ to headline Pacha. That's actually a side indictment on the scene and the industry. That somebody like her that was spearheading the Playgrave movement is still thriving. You know, no quote-unquote punishment, no slowdown in business. It's been business as usual. She didn't slow down during the Playgraves or during COVID, and she's not slowed down since. Still out here, booked and busy, living life to the fullest. And of course, Pacha out here patting themselves on the back for having a first female headline DJ in 2025. Imagine, in 2025. Bragging about that is fucking crazy. They should have been one years ago. There's been many sick DJs in the scene, especially female ones, who could have headlined Pacha. But she's the first ever one. That's fucking crazy. It comes to mind even Peggy Goo. Why hasn't Peggy Goo ever headlined Pacha? Why isn't she big enough? I think she's way bigger, but she's probably comparable to Blondish. Yes, Blondish is older, but why hasn't Peggy Goo ever headlined Pacha? That's fucking crazy. Anyway, let's continue with the article. The article was the article was corrected. Blondish is the club's first female headline resident, not the first female resident. Okay, cool. Blondish has been announced as Pacha's first female headline DJ, some 52 years after it first opened in the White Islands. The news announced on Monday, February 10th, revealing the Canadian DJ and producer will have her own party, Abracadabra, at the club every Wednesday for 11 weeks this summer. We're happy to announce Blondish as Pacha's first female headline president, says the Pacha CEO, Aluki Batra, said to Mixmag. Launching on May 21st, she will bring her Abracadabra brand to the club for 11-week residency. By the way, I don't think it's something to brag about. A, because she's a plague rave DJ, and B, because this is 2025, and having the first female DJ be Blondish is fucking horrendous. For them, as a brand, for the scene in general. Why did it have to take so long for a DJ to headline fucking Pacha? Really, a female DJ. That is disgusting, really, if you think about it. But people don't think, people don't care, so it is what it is. While Abracadabra marks the first female-led party brand to take over a regular slot at the club, the likes of Cassie, Sarah Main, DJ Paulette, Sam Divine have held successful resident slots at the clubs over the years. Exactly. Look at Sam Divine. Again, not my flavor. Not my fucking flavor. But she's from Defected, I think. Why hasn't Sam Divine headlined a party at Pacha? She's huge. She's sick as well. Or Cassie. Or Tiny. Or is it Teeny? However you say her name. Why does she hasn't fucking performed headline sets over there? That is fucking crazy. Or even Cynthia. Like, DJ Paulette's a fucking legend. Why don't she... Like, all these people who have come before have never had a headline set, but you're bragging about one in 2025. God damn it. The scene has got so far to go. Pacha Ibiza, which was opened in 1973, has welcomed residents including Swedish House Mafia, Solomon, Dixon, and Camel Fat. Cool. Blondish residency will go ahead on May 21st until July 30th, where Abracadabra Party described as grassroots movement, community, and financial sustainable ethos. I wonder if it's named after the Lady Gaga single, or if this is just a coincidence. I don't know. I've been going to Ibiza since I was 17, so you can imagine that I'll be dreaming about residency that I can bring to the island that's unique. Energy is everything, and you can be sure that we'll be bringing a fresh energy to the island. It's something that you need to experience in person. Yeah, business techno shit, you know, nothing that illuminating. In January, Pacha shared details of 2025 opening weekend, set to kick off on Friday, April 25th. The year's opening features the likes of Solomon. Really? Hold on, I actually need to correct that. In January, Pacha shared its details of opening weekend. Actually, let me go check that out. Because they've also got a book that's available. What is the opening weekend looking like? I want to see this. What's the opening? I've got a kind of music thing going on. But April 25th is actually my birthday. I might actually go out there for a fucking opening weekend, you know? If I can go see Solomon on my fucking birthday in Ibiza, that might be actually a bit of a vibe. Let's see what their events are. But most of them are sold out. And they're also crazy, the ticket prices in Ibiza. Even though I've never been, but I know the prices are crazy. Even the drinks and shit out there. So it's a bit of an expensive one. But let me actually see what they've got available here. So this is Pacha's events listing. So when is Solomon playing? The grand opening party is on the 25th. Yeah, on my fucking birthday. That's sick. Solomon and Mal P. Is it available? Let's see if there's tickets available. I bet you it's sold out. It says tickets from 90 euros. God almighty. 90 euros. Entry. Grand Pacha opening. But it's also the hottest ticket in town, right? The opening of Pacha is the hottest ticket in town. Oh, they're still available. Wow, that shows, innit? That shows that things aren't going as well as they probably should have. They still got tickets available, by the way. So grand opening party featuring Solomon and Mal P. The moment we've been waiting for is here. Pacha Ibiza opens its doors. With Solomon headlining the grand opening alongside Mal P. The master collection of emotion. Known for his legendary Solomon +1. He'll set the tone for an incredible season. So there's tickets available here. Entry before 1 a.m. at 90 euros. Fourth release is 95. Second release, oh my god, you have to be a real dork. Second release and backstage dancing VIP ticket. Not even backstage to meet him. Backstage to dance is 750 euros. Add-ons. 3 bottles of, oh my god, oh my god. Oh my god. 3 bottles of water is usually 42 euros. But if you purchase it with a ticket add-on, you pay 15 euros. For 3 bottles of water. 3 drinks is usually 72 euros. But you pay 25 euros if you add the add-on. Oh my god. Oh my god. That is absolutely crazy. 25, Jesus Christ. So here's the layout of the club. So that's the backstage dancing area, which is right behind the DJ booth. And you pay 750 euros for that. That's basically some people's rent. 750 euros. 750 euros. Oh my god. That is way too expensive there. Way too expensive. VIP benefits. They got here table service, VIP parking, private entrance, private area access. What else they got here? Private free area access. Yeah, this is way too much money, man. God almighty. But that is quite tempting. I'm not going to lie. That is pretty tempting. I'm actually really curious. Let me actually see what Blondish is doing. What is Blondish's Instagram page looking like? Because I didn't see what type of shit she plays, but it's usually business techno stuff and really shitty EDM. But let me actually hear what she actually plays, because I actually heard it in a long time. Let's see what she's about. Is there a video of her playing? Yeah, there we go. There's a video of her playing. Let's see what type of stuff. She's very wacky, it seems, right? A lot of smiles in these pictures. Let's see. House Cats Residence. Let's see. Okay, this is like a meme thing. Just play a normal clip of her DJing, please. Is there a normal clip? Cool, there we go. Guess which clips are real and which ones are AI. What? He's awful. Just the clips already are fucking awful. Can we just see a normal clip of her playing that doesn't include some sort of like funny thing? Is that possible? Is that her and her wife, I'm assuming, right? With a baby. Okay, cool. Can we see a normal clip of her playing, please? Let's see. I want to see a normal clip of her playing. Let's see. Yeah, it sounds horrendous. Yeah, no thank you. This sounds like, again, FIFA menu music for me. FIFA menu music, no thank you. One more before we fucking bounce on this. Fucking horrendous, bro. What's this? Track 4, Shout It Out, just dropped. Life is kind of crazy when you open to it. Story time. I was in a studio in LA when Night tells music talking about the meaning of behind the album, how it's about discovering your own best friend, la la la. Then Cam from Night Tales just starts busting out singing in Tanzanian, his mother native language. For some reason, it brought me back to the past life. I swear, because when the Big Bang happened and made that huge sound, I was there. And when music is sung in another language that's closer to the source, I feel it so much more than the English language. It just makes sense. This is a shout it out. You don't understand the words, but you feel it more than understanding. It's a thing. Who's still with me? I'm not. I'm definitely not with you. She's fucking trash, man. So fucking awful. Like, beyond awful. This is your resident, by the way. This is your fucking resident. Let's hear one more clip here. That might be the best thing I've heard from her so far. And that club looks really cool with the fire flames in front of the booth, wherever that club is. But Jesus Christ, the music sounds terrible. No, thank you. Yeah, I'm alright. I'm alright on that, man. I'm alright on that one. I'm alright on that one. But congrats to her anyway for becoming the first female resident of Pacha, I guess. But I'm gonna have to skip on that one. I'm gonna have to skip on that one completely because that sounds horrendous. But if you want to check it out, you know where to check it out. Pacha website. You can get tickets to see Blondish playing. Blondish playing. Anyways, that is it. That is it from the Exo Zigga Show episode number 8. What is it? 873, I think. 873. Thank you for tuning in. It was a pleasure to have your company as per usual. Episode number 873. If it's your first time checking out the show, please make sure you like the stream down below, subscribe and all that good stuff. That would be greatly, greatly, greatly appreciated. If it's your first time checking out the show, you know what to do. Subscribe to the channel, all that good stuff, please. Like the stream and all that. Leave me a 5-star review. For those of you listening to the show via the audio side, you will hear my tune today, which is by Len, called Pink Tesla. Big up Len. He's a party boy just like myself, but he's also making some great music. And essentially, this is a tribute to the very famous Pink Tesla pills. If you know, you know. Pink Tesla pills from back in the day. It's a good little tribute to that. So if you're a fan of those little flipping adult multivitamins, please check it out. Really fucking good track by Len called Pink Tesla, playing underneath my voice right now. For the rest of you watching this show live, I'll be doing the random show later on. I'll put up a fucking scheduled stream later, so please bear with me. There'll be a random show coming later on tonight, so please bear with me for that one. But for everybody else, thank you for tuning in. It's been a pleasure, not a chore, and I'll see everybody else again later. But for now, take care and peace.
This is the thing is, no one's happy with just being like a little successful. You get a little
motorbike.
You know what I'm saying?
Treat you like a motorbike.
No, don't treat him like a motorbike. No, he's got a thick neck. You never know. Listen.
Engagement.
Good for her.